And some
No,
thoughts
Danny.
just need to stay inside the head.
Remember,
that's all
he
you
said
get.
keep it to yourself.
Welcome to another episode of our weekly D&D games, and
You want to try?
and I'm getting distracted already tonight, so that's how
I
this
knew
night
it.
is going to go. Welcome back to Casual Cactus, to our weekly D&D game. Jer, well, I say weekly. It's whenever we can get together, but we try for weekly. Jaren is out from the table.
He is working
He
right
is
now.
working this evening, so unfortunately,
Sometimes you get stuck with
the
the
big
evening show.
bunny is not with us. However, we do have a wandering Steven at the table.
Some might say a miracle.
Some might call that a miracle. So we do have Lucas with us at the table tonight. So we do still have a full party.
Yeah.
No,
That was a true statement.
it is a true statement. That is a true statement. That is not what I meant with the true statement, but it is a true statement.
Artemis.
Artemis. Thank you. We have an Artemis at the table as well as a Lucas.
So kind
And
for
a
my
Killian and a Simi. And yeah, and it's going to be one of those nights, so buckle up. I hope you guys are ready, because I have no idea where we're going to go. It will be off the rails. A few quick reminders as we get started here this evening. Thank you, Mio. I probably have missed something already. Let me just check. Nope, I haven't yet. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Mio.
Oh, boy.
And dang it, Gage. Welcome to the chat. Few quick reminders. We do have our YouTube channel. All of the video content does wind up there, so be sure, if you haven't already, hit like and subscribe. Turn on the notifications, and you will always know when new content goes up. I happen to know we are up to date because I uploaded it this morning. So
gives me
last
time to
week's
listen.
last week's episode is in fact live as we are recording. So no excuses. We do also run a Discord server that we use to let you guys know when we are going live. It is our we host our schedule there. We let you guys know what's coming up when. If anything changes last minute with the schedule, we do try to post it there as well. If there are long-term, we're not going to be playing for whatever reason, we'll put it up there as a reminder so that you don't pop in expecting to see us playing D&D and find nothing but crickets. Kind of like that. Anyway, we will let you guys know on that Discord server, so be sure that you are tuned into that as well. I don't think I have anything else to get started with, so yeah, Mio, I do not hate you, Mio. Stop that.
You should fix that.
I should fix that, but I'm not going to fix it right now because, hosting a stream, but I'll
Which
definitely...
also means he's going to get distracted before he does. So add him.
Probably. It would probably be better if you just reached out and friended me instead. Yeah, that's a thing. You can do that too. Anyway, that is all.
Oh, she can't find you.
You can't find. You're on my. Are you on my Discord? There's a link to the Discord. I just put it in the chat. You can click the thing and go to it and find me.
No excuses.
No excuses.
Now, to be fair, this will in no way, shape, or form let you actually communicate with him because
No,
it's the
of
Discord.
course not. It's Discord. Anyway, that's
Also,
gonna do
To
it.
be fair, you can't get irritated with her for the whole technology thing, because how many times has Gage given you advice and things like that just hasn't actually entered into the equation? You have followed some things.
I have followed
we just
some
haven't
things.
gotten to others. They are on the list.
This is a hobby. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about the Discord or the stream stuff
Correct.
or
We know.
much of anything after
We know.
it's done because I've got other stuff going on.
It's life.
Yeah,
life exists.
Gross.
Freaking
Okay,
life.
that's I think gonna do it as far as the shenanigans at the top of the show. But we will definitely circle back around to Mio and Gage and everybody on the Discord. So Is there anyone who would like to do a recap besides Steven? Since
I can do it.
I started.
I did watch it this
Yeah,
morning.
I've gotten halfway
Okay,
through.
good for you.
but-
all right, go for it, Brayton.
Okay, thank you. Luckily, I put asterisks now where we left off
Good call.
because I could never remember.
That is a smart idea. Except he lost his asterisk.
There it is. Well, I gotta check to see if there was another one. Wow, that was a 4-pager last session. I must have been paying attention. You're caught up, right?
More or less, yeah.
Okay, then I'll ignore giving a further recap. So, after talking with the Armada, we headed back to Costas and back to the Impelian Order. Simi and Lucas fly to the top of the tower so then they don't have to deal with trying to sneak in or whatever. Killian nonchalantly enters the compound and then heads to the tower. Everyone reconvenes on the bridge of the tower while Killian goes to Rosk's office and informs him of the current status of the Armada, which is they want supplies for the return trip and also to do some preliminary diplomacy.
Good way to say it.
They talk about opportunities. Of course, I did not spell that right. There is no O after the double P's of opportunity.
OP Eternities.
Also, there isn't an I.
It could have been an R. Just a loose R.
No, that is a terrible way of spelling it. The American education system. They talk about opportunities that this could bring for the both of them. Rosk and Killian talk about trying to get him to be more influential than the other two heads of the order. Having this conversation over a bottle from the Hearthfire Winery. They both have the question of how does the Inquisition fit in all this, and are they still devoted to the Empress? Also, could they interrogate some Inquisition? Ross needs time to reflect and contemplate on his next move, and needs a few days. Keelan leaves and talks to us on the bridge, and as we discuss the current position we hold. We find out that the Spelljammer is referred to as the Warhorse as its name, but we quickly changed that to Seabiscuit. And Simi being very patient with Rosk.
Can I have a quick pause?
Yep.
Did it ever get clarified where that it's from?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
We have done literally nothing to ask it of its origin.
Oh no! I
No,
Yeah,
the
it's-
reference
yeah,
that keeps.
I
no, I
realized
didn't.
that I
The-
forgot to give you guys the out.
the Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Oh.
No, it is. It is a shuttle in Deep Space Nine.
Is it?
Apparently, the shuttle
So
in
what
Deep
was
Space
the
Nine is a
what was the one
reference
you were
to.
referencing?
I have a different reference in mind.
What's your different
Interesting.
reference?
Okay.
What? So my other reference would be actually it's sort of a two-part reference.
Okay.
It is a reference both to the Expanse and through by the transitive properties of the Expanse to Don Quixote.
Okay.
All right.
Don Quixote's horse was the Rocinante, which literally translates no longer a workhorse.
Ooh, cool.
So that is the reference there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go take down some windmills.
Yeah.
Huzzah.
We also contemplate if we want to have Simi try to buddy up with Corel, which we're still trying to figure that out.
You're still deciding if that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
and
or not.
trying to see if we can get a three-way fight with the heads of the Inquisition, but who knows. Lucas tries to commune, asking several questions like, is the Inquisition still loyal to the Empress? Unclear. Can you see past the Empress's shield surrounding her palace? Somewhat. And then, is her soul still on this plane? My inner demon decided to tell me, wouldn't you like to know, and I quote, worm. The tower is 100% diagnosed, or has run its diagnostic. I have half a page of the things. I'm not going to run into those. After that, Killian and Dominic leave the tower, as well as Cassius and Acherai. Lucas, Artemis, and Simi stay on the bridge. Killian begins to be followed, and he confronts the stalker, who doesn't know who sent him to follow him, just a note. Continues to walk around the grounds with Hector. Two messengers foot race to get to Killian first. Nathan, who was sent by Corell, and Clarice, who was sent by the Inquisition. Both want to know what happened to Rosk with the Armada, because they were not told. The Rosk did not tell either of them about the Armada. They also wanted to know what Rosk's plan was. Killian gives them a quick, brief summary, and then sends them on their way. There was the reminder that there was a plague outbreak 2 years ago. Killian talks a lot more with Hector. Dominic goes home and makes food and talks with his mom. Killian meets Dominic in his house for the first time. Hector stays outside to listen at the window, but is silenced. They all talk together in the Bramble Branch home. Now, I can't remember specifically, but I have written that Red Adder reports to the Bramble Branch family. Did we ever figure out what position they held again?
Yeah, they were above him. They were higher than him in the hierarchy of the... They were one of the ringleaders.
Okay. They were used as diplomats to show good faith to the... Oh, we could use them to show good faith to the Armada. And then Killian leaves the residence, and Hector not having heard any of the conversation. That is where we left off.
So, can I make a slight adjustment to where Artemis is?
Sure.
So, when the first one that I missed, we were headed up we had ended and we were headed up the tower, and you said that I split off because there was like somebody stuck in a door.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I would like to have pushed him back in and gotten stuck inside that room, and I've just been there ever since.
Okay.
Okay.
That works.
That tracks. That makes
For the
sense.
last...
At least until the lockdown came off.
Oh, I must have missed the lockdown.
Yeah,
there was-
that happened last time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So.
So you've just been wandering around trying to find us?
Because I still haven't been
You've
up
been stuck in that room for like 9 hours.
Yep.
Useless.
All right. So, let us begin, I suppose, with.
Let us leave.
Let us begin with those on the bridge, which would be Simi and Lucas,
Mhm.
not Artemis, who is sitting next to Lucas, only not.
Right.
All right, so you guys were getting some rest overnight. We'll call it the next morning.
Okay.
Okay, and we had how long that we were trying to...
Oh, may I make one quick addendum?
Sure.
Just before I go to sleep, I will send a message to Bianca, the bank,
Okay.
and I will inform the Merchants Guild on the current status of the current status of the Armada.
Oh.
Everything all right there, Keith?
Yeah, I'm just
Snorting.
snorting and humoring Neo for just a second.
By not putting me in?
Good job remembering to inform them.
Okay.
So, we'll say if however many sendings it takes, I will inform Bianca to let the rest of the Merchants Guild know about
Okay.
the current predicament with the Armada, and if she wants, I can talk to her tomorrow if she so wishes about further developments of that. So.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I forgot. I was thinking about that this morning. It's like, we forgot to tell the bank.
Mhm.
And we forgot to tell the Merchants Guild of what happened. So,
Okay.
And I had said at some point in there that I was probably going to go and talk to my dad.
you had mentioned it, yes.
You had mentioned it.
Yeah.
Did you want to? You can go. Are you trying to do that tonight, or are you trying to? Because we can do that in the morning.
Hint! Hint!
Well, no, I just more or less like it is. Technically,
I believe it's
technically,
morning now.
by the time we got back to the tower, it was morning.
None of
Yeah.
us have had a rest.
Right.
It's true. Yeah.
So
she would
technically now it
probably-
is night. and we
At this
spent 8
point, she would
hours.
probably be tired enough. She would want to rest anyway,
Okay.
so she'll rest first and deal
Okay.
with that tomorrow. But also probably by night, unless they have something else pop up between now and then. So yeah, that she's gonna sit kind of as she's trying to drift off and reread notes and stuff like that she has received,
Okay.
whatever it is that she has received.
Alrighty then. Artemis.
I'm still in this room. I haven't figured out the lockdown's come down.
I was supposed to say, yeah, he gave up trying the door after the first hour and has
Oh,
remained
Just
there.
waiting
Okay.
for somebody to
So
see
I'm sharing tea. Like I've started a little fire. Hopefully the sprinklers haven't gone off.
No. No, it hasn't yet. So the person that you're across from is just kind of sipping tea with you as well. It's like, is there something I can do to help you? I mean, I thank you for getting me unstuck and all, but I mean, is there anything?
Not to the best of my knowledge. I'll try the door again, but I'm not particularly confident.
About this time, the door slides open and somebody pokes their head in. There you are. You were supposed to be on guard duty like 20 minutes ago. Come on. And so the person grabs all their stuff and
Oh, well,
bolts out.
I will just finish the rest of his tea, finish my tea, put it away, and is my medallion still showing me the way up the stairs? Or that it's trying to get me to go through the middle, but I'm not going to do that?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
it's still
still
doing
going to
that.
walk up the stairs, and it'll have to reroute every time.
Okay. So you get to the top floor. It's fairly obvious that one of the sections, it's got guards on it. Watching the door. It's also obvious that there's no further way up to the bridge from this
Except for
level
the middle.
except through the middle.
Books. I'm just gonna look up. How hard would it be to run up the wall to get up there?
Pretty hard. The way it's built, it's like the corridor itself. It's got openings out into the middle, but it's not like open,
Got it.
except where the openings are.
Good lord. All right. I'm gonna walk over to the section that it's telling me to go to. Please don't let me die. Please don't. And I'm gonna step off.
And you get that sense of it's solid without being firm. So it's like there's you can feel something under your feet even though you can't see it.
I don't like that. I don't like this.
And once you get out to the center, you feel yourself start to rise, and there's just the ceiling, and you float right through the ceiling. And then there's a set of doors that slides open in front of you.
And
I'm like in a. You haven't seen the bridge yet.
I have no idea what I'm
I'm
looking
just there's like on the bridge chair.
at. So it is Lucas and.
Lucas and Simi.
Are you awake at this point? Early in the morning?
Okay, where does this line up with when we got back and were talking?
It'll be the next morning.
Okay.
Remember that time you remind me? It's morning of a day.
A day. Okay. If like we are in the hours of sun beginning to rise and such, okay, I would
Yeah.
probably be asleep then.
Nope.
Especially because you can't see the sun.
Yeah, and I'm just laying on the floor and look very used to it.
Both of you make me perception checks at disadvantage. Because you are asleep.
Well, one's a nat 20, but that's not with disadvantage. Perception, but perception's a plus 10, so it's still a 19.
-1.
Nice.
A natural 1 with a -2 to perception.
Wow.
So,
And they're done that.
yeah.
Okay.
It's fun.
So Lucas, you can't. You know, you're deep asleep. You don't hear anything. Simi, you hear the of the doors opening and are just suddenly you bolt awake.
And I do jump off of the ground and like, oh,
Good morning.
good morning. Where have you been?
I got locked in a room.
Really? she clearly is like, I'm very sorry, but also that's really, really funny.
A young gentleman, Kyle, was stuck in between a door. Apparently someone up here, something tried to shut all the doors. He was in the middle of it. I was able to pull him through the door, but then we were both stuck.
Is he okay? I don't know what these doors do.
He seemed alright. He's definitely bruised, but otherwise fine.
Okay, so they're not like cut a person in half doors.
I don't know if that might be the case otherwise. I am unfamiliar, but
Fair enough. Fair enough.
if I was going to be making a flying machine, I would probably make sure that the door's sealed pretty tightly.
That does make sense. I mean,
So,
a bit. Okay, well, I was about to ask if you found anything out while you were gone, but seeing as you were locked in a room for...
no, Kyle is a delightful young gentleman and has potential, but aside from that, I know virtually nothing else.
We have a lot to catch you up on.
Yeah, a flying giant lizard,
Yeah,
which I assume was our friend up the hill.
you are correct in that assumption. Nothing else. Okay.
What is
so
going on with the ships coming in?
They are currently... so Killian real hard.
As
Um,
Killian is wanted to do.
Yes, and as a result, we are not at war with them. He convinced them to go north-south of
Both, I think,
both,
yeah.
both, to go to either side of the shores of Costus and to effectively set up encampments.
How far out is that? I know that the cliff sides can be rather unforgiving to ships.
I mean, it's a couple miles outside of town each direction.
Still hiking distance, a few miles, but
Okay.
there should be some safe outcroppings for them to be able to negotiate.
Who are they?
They are did they say a name? The
No.
They are from the city-states of Orkos, and Osmia's the one we're not supposed to know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Have you ever heard of Orkos?
Excuse me?
A place called Orkos.
That sounds like a noise a pig might make, but no, I'm unfamiliar.
Fair. So apparently the Empress was waging a war in Orkos, which is where they are
Oh,
from.
so okay.
Yeah.
I was unfamiliar with the placement, but I do remember soldiers leaving.
You know how our friend Dominic is a rabbit, but not
Not a rabbit, yeah, but something at least adjacent.
A whole lot of that.
Oh!
But not all rabbits. There was a shark guy. The man that Killian talked to for the majority of it was a tiger, lion, tiger.
Bear? Oh my.
Yeah. There was a lot that happened, but apparently Killian is now negotiating on their behalf to avoid a war. Has convinced Rosk to effectively let him into a circle of trust.
Why?
There's because we need information, and we're going to try and pit the three of them against each other between
But
Rosk.
we have a flying machine that they are stuck inside of, correct?
Correct.
So we just take them really high and we push them out. I'm gonna throw something small at Lucas.
Make your dex check.
You.
Oh, okay.
See if you hit.
Well, that'll be 11 plus 9, so unnatural 20.
Don't worry, if anything in this group knows what to do, it's to do damage to me.
Very good hit.
Ball of paper.
So,
Boink!
Does that wake me up?
I mean, does it hit you?
Oh,
With
yeah.
a 20.
Yeah.
And what were you
Just like a ball of paper or something from my pack, something small. I have a...
Do you notice it? Make me a perception check. At disadvantage.
I'm not gonna use the darts on you like I did
okay.
Killian.
7?
Nope.
He's a deep sleeper.
Yeah, no idea. I don't even know how he makes some of those noises. I feel like there's probably a tumor somewhere in there.
Maybe we should get that looked at.
Probably should. But I don't hate that idea. There might be some mass hysteria caused, though, when a large chunk of the cloister square lifts up from the ground where it's been for apparently over 3,000 years.
I mean, it would be mass hysteria when we remove the leaders of the cloister anyway. So if we do it at night, the town doesn't necessarily see it.
They just
We just wait for the management.
There are also so the diagnostics. Seabiscuit?
Excuse me?
Yes?
What?
So, remind me how capable you are in your current state of flight.
Estimated flight time 15 minutes.
Yeah, there's that. Which we don't need that long, but also
Well, I mean, I suppose it depends on the speed at which we would travel.
I feel like there's a lot of other questions that we need answered if it's not in a state of repair to be able to last more than 15 minutes. There are probably also a lot of other variables that we aren't accounting for that we should.
So what is the capability? I mean, do we know all of the capabilities of this thing?
We're still learning that. Seabiscuit,
Yes?
what is your optimal travel capability?
When fully fueled, this vessel is capable of interplanar travel.
So that,
I don't know what that means, but I'm sure that's wonderful.
well, seeing as our planes collided with another plane at some point, I'm going to guess that it can jump between those two without trying to cause a calamitous world-ending event. I am
Planes.
not a physicist. I don't understand these things, but I'm trying real hard. I think my head hurts.
Can you ask it if we could just like remove the air from a room?
Well, I'm also curious as to if it can answer to you too. You check with it and see. I just want to see if
How?
it does. Well, I mean, ask it politely, like by name,
You
address
say
it,
Seabiscuit.
Seabiscuit.
Yes?
Sea biscuit?
Yes?
Hello, my name is Artemis. How are you today?
I am operating at 25% efficiency.
So it's a little busted up.
So you're sick?
It went down.
I'm sorry, what did I say last week?
Yeah, I was making a joke.
Error? unknown query.
I don't know how to phrase that then. If there was to say be an intruder here, what procedures could be taken to eradicate such a being?
Standard lockdown procedures include securing and locking all exterior entryways, locking and securing all internal passageways for difficulty in boarders acquiring access to to areas unauthorized.
Could you maybe like remove all the air from a room?
Affirmative. Warning, such actions would result in negative consequences to the biological entities within said spaces.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it. Is there anything that I can do for you today?
Error. Unknown inquiry.
Okay, have a good day.
Error. Unhandled exception.
This is why you don't allow certain inputs.
Have a good day. Command not recognized. Yeah, so that's a thing. That's not a bad idea. I don't think I would like it if it was one of those things where you just shut off the air, but if you could remove the air, that wouldn't be a slow, terrible way to go.
I mean, as far as slow, terrible things go, I don't know that there are many people who I would deem more deserving of such, but that is, of course, not ideal. But if the air can be just siphoned or moved somewhere else so that it is a relatively quick, if not necessarily painless, death.
I feel like politically, Killian would have opinions about this plan.
But guess who's
so.
not there
The
to...
killing's not in the tower.
Killian's in the tower, because you guys have slept at this point.
Oh, true.
So I would sleep, but Killian's not here to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Yes, but
I mean, do we want to ask him? As far as concerned parties, I think that you probably would be the one that I would defer to, as far as you and Sleepy McGee. As far as those who have been worst hurt by the particular people in that room. And so your opinion, at least to myself, would rank the highest.
my thoughts about that are very complex. His might not be. Although right now I'm not sure he's thinking about very much. Did he just inhale a fly?
That is an excessive amount of drool.
I might need to think about that, but I do. We know that they have convened before, all three together.
Now they're still there, yes?
Seabiscuit,
Affirmative.
could you state the locations of... I forgot his first name. I gave him the name. Rosk, Corell, and do we know the other guy's name?
I certainly don't.
He said it. I do not remember.
Master Amakir.
Amakir.
And Master Amakir.
Error. Unregistered users.
I was scared of that. The room where Killian was, can you bring that up on screen, Seabiscuit?
You used the command at the end instead of the beginning. You have to say, "Hey Alexa" first.
Okay.
Seabiscuit.
So I've got to pause you for just a second. Remember that question,
Ah.
Killian? Where have
Oh,
you?
I'm sleeping in the
Engineering?
engineering quarters that it showed me on the map.
Okay. In that case, it will show you Killian. It'll show you a blip in Killian's quarters, down at the very base of the tower, actually down below ground.
Nope, that's not right.
I'm gonna poke the hologram.
So it's not a hologram. It's
Is
sheets of sheets of crystal. It's like screens on the walls. While you're doing that, what would Lucas
Sleeping.
be dreaming?
Oh. Breakfast.
Something alive in my nose.
Yeah.
Okay. Make me
What decides to haunt me in my dreams there, Keith?
Make me a charisma saving throw.
A charisma save?
10. Okay. So as you're sitting at the breakfast table with a banquet of food laid out before you,
Yeah.
you reach for, what would you reach for first?
Bacon.
You reach for the bacon,
Ah.
and before you can grab it, the bacon bites you.
Ow.
And as you look down the entire plate, all of the strips of bacon have poked up little like mimic eyeballs and mimic mouths and are coming towards your hand to chomp on you.
Okay. I run,
Okay?
which is very hard to do in a dream.
It's very hard to do in a dream. And as you turn to start to run, the carpet sort of under your feet starts to pull you backwards.
Okay.
As you look over your shoulder, the entire table now has taken on the visage of a mimic, and the carpet runner is its tongue pulling back into its mouth.
Okay. I keep running. To whatever the conclusion of this is gonna be.
It keeps pace with you. You don't actually get anywhere. It's drawing you into its mouth.
Okay. Food fight, I guess.
What food?
Well, they look like food.
Right.
I don't know, I'm just gonna start fight or flight. It's time to fight. I can't flee.
Okay.
I try fighting, punching in a dream, which is something else that doesn't. You're not very good at.
Right. It's like you're punching underwater. All of the blows are super slow, even though you're trying with all of your might. And so when your fists connect with the table, it doesn't actually do any damage. And because it's a mimic now and sticky, your hand actually sticks to it.
Okay. I've used the dreaming spell before. Does this feel like this is my actual imagination, or is this something else?
It is not the dreaming spell that you are used to.
Right.
It is, but you do feel. Actually, make me an Arcana check first.
24.
24? Okay. So you do feel an outside influence that is using sort of whatever is in your own brain against you.
Oh, fun.
And as you realize that, you start to smell sulfur in the scene.
Okay.
Mwahaha.
I'd like to wake up, please.
All right.
What is roll for wake up?
I feel like this would have to be a wisdom saving throw.
Of course it would. Ooh, I know what the DC is for this demon, which means I have only 3 numbers I can roll to beat this 16.
Was that one of them?
That's a 0.
Oh, wow.
So you're like, wake up, wake up, wake up! And you open your eyes and you are still trapped in the dream.
Okay.
All right, so back out in the real world, the two of you, Artemis and Simi, start to start to see Lucas sort of twitching and just sort of he's definitely something weird is going on in his sleep. He's sort of reacting to whatever's going on in his head.
Oh, poor thing. Nightmares.
Last time I saw a dog do that, it ran into a wall before it woke up.
Let's make sure he doesn't run into a wall.
Yeah, she goes over.
Pop, pop.
Go ahead. Are you gonna
Hit him again.
Lucas!
I'm just like,
Sorry to anybody who just deafened.
make the first of all make a perception check at disadvantage.
Anybody home?
4.
Nope. You don't feel it.
Okay.
did someone give him sleeping?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry about
Perception
any deafness.
check.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that was probably really loud.
So perception check.
It's okay.
Mhm.
Just a straight perception check this time.
0 again.
My word.
Wow. Sleeping deep there, my friend.
Yep.
Does not seem to do anything.
Also, as a side
Does it
note,
seem magical?
just as a side note, my armor is my AC is currently 12
Okay.
because I do not have my magical armor activated right now.
Gotcha.
Because I have slept
Gotcha.
and have not reactivated.
Haven't had a chance to
Haven't had
reactivate
to put it on. So.
Gotcha.
Does that seem magical?
I've never seen
Like
him
the
sleep
two of you
this
would
hard.
know.
Right? Yeah, I've never seen him sleep this hard.
Seabiscuit, can you wake him up?
So where were you? Were in the chair?
Yeah.
So, stand by.
Uh-oh.
Stand by, then you hear the-
Oh.
So you do start to hear like power sort of building under the floor.
Yep, there's a low hum.
And the chair starts to spin very slowly.
Did I make a mistake?
Maybe, but let's see this one
And
through.
then it starts to spin faster and faster and faster and faster. In your dream.
This is like Fantasia now.
The
just
whole
like-
room starts to sort of like tilt and lean. You're starting to feel gravity shift, and you're starting to get pulled. Like you and the mimic are both being pulled towards the walls, which have suddenly become circular all of a sudden.
Gravitron. I hate Gravitron. Oh, I hate that ride.
Man. This time, I would like for you to please make me a Constitution saving
A
throw.
Constitution save. At least this one's a positive.
That's helpful.
Fun trivia: the Gravitron. My brother went on that 6 times in a row and came out paler than a ghost.
That doesn't seem wise to me.
No.
Okay. Well, I did roll a 2, so that is a 4. So we're heading in the right direction. As a side note, this I keep rolling 2s on every other dice.
Jeez.
So with that 4, you feel suddenly your stomach start to contort with nausea, and you feel like you need to puke, but because it's a dream, you can't actually puke.
Did Hugo agree to you? Oh.
At some point, something's gotta give.
At this point,
dream,
At this point,
this chair, or my brain.
at this
It's not
point,
looking good for my brain.
We know it's
you cannot actively hold on to the chair because you are asleep. So at this point, you get flung out and crash against the wall, and at that point, that snaps you awake, and the chair starts to spin down.
As I say, it's the metal merry-go-round. You punch the person.
Get sucked under. I'm gonna try to stop the chair by hand, so that he doesn't see. No, like once it slows down a little bit, I'm like, oh,
Are you okay, Lucas? I'll run over to Lucas.
This wasn't my fault. It was
Make me
me.
guilty.
What happened?
Well,
What happened?
you were asleep and you got a little spinny there, and then you ran into the wall. None of those things are lies.
Yeah, okay.
Are you all right? We were trying to wake you up, but it was not working.
No, I'm having a very deep nightmare.
Was it your weird soul stealer guy?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to deal with that, you know.
You know, everyone keeps saying that, but I don't think it's turning out very likely.
Why?
Well, I tried to see if anyone around could, like, get rid of it, and there wasn't anyone.
We're gonna do some legwork on trying to figure out if there is something that we can do about that, because that's what I just saw was not normal. Ooh, ow.
Also, you might want to. You have some like. Here, I'll hand you a little like.
Thank you.
pocket
Square
cushion.
thing, yeah.
Thank you.
You can keep that.
Okay.
Ooh,
Whew.
man.
So, good morning. Where have you been?
Locked in a room.
Oh, fun.
Oh,
I've been trying to get him a little bit more caught up to speed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel. I would feel weird about taking the air out of the... Well, first off, we need to make sure that they're actually in the right place. But beyond that, I would feel weird doing that without at least first making sure that we have a consensus that that's what needs to happen. I don't want to
What do you think about killing them all?
Not...
Define all. What number includes all?
3.
Okay.
Pharrell, Rosk, and...
I mean, that was the plan, right?
yes.
And if I'm getting correctly from context, you want to suffocate them?
Mm-hmm.
It did not dawn on me that might have been something that
It was, but is that how justice should be served?
Quickly, quietly.
And asking you, as the champion of justice.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's a whole thing,
it's weird and I don't...
but it's
Don't-
true. You said that's what he said.
Okay, we
so-
can come back to that.
Nah.
Okay.
What would you think? Because she seems undecided.
I mean,
But as far as those who have been most directly affected by the people in that room,
Killen's gone through a lot in this plan. I hate for him to not, just take it out from under him.
okay, yes,
that's not true at all.
That is
His
not
weird
what I
power
am-
trip that he's going through.
Yep.
We could talk to him about it.
Okay, if Killian was not in the equation,
Okay.
because both of you have brought up Killian,
Uh-huh.
but I am talking to you specifically.
Okay, me is
If you had the opportunity to push a button and make that happen, would you push that button right now?
Right.
Yes.
Right now, no. Because I need to think through what else needs to be set up before that domino falls.
Actually, that's a fair point.
I mean,
I don't necessarily argue with the method.
the longer that they are potentially in there, the more likely that they are to use a demon and escape.
Well, only one of them would be able to use a demon and escape, but...
Right, but then we still have to deal with that one. But what I'm saying is, I think that it makes logical sense to me to remove that and deal with the fallout, as opposed to potentially letting them escape.
Do we know where Killian is right now?
I have no idea. I frankly, I didn't know where all of you were until you 10 minutes ago.
I don't know that escape is currently on their radar. They're playing against each other. But we should at least keep eyes on where they are while we decide what we want to do with this. Seabiscuit,
Affirmative.
The meeting that you showed us yesterday on the screen, can you show us that room again?
Affirmative.
Is it in color this time?
Well, so
Or is it still thermal?
I said affirmative. I shouldn't have
Well,
said.
yeah, sensors offline.
Sensors offline.
Shit.
Because if you'll remember,
It was when
I
you
was
were.
there, yeah.
Yeah, you were the sensor.
I'm not sure that we knew
It-
that though.
Well, we
you
haven't
guys
Oh, did
did.
we? Okay.
Because
okay.
every time I left the room,
It's
you
sad.
It
We
got
have a
weird,
100-mile
that's right.
sensor range, but that doesn't include
Not
the
in the
inside
tower.
of the spell chamber.
That does seem weird.
Not really.
Two different systems.
Yeah, fair.
Okay,
You
so
can
at this
sense where
point
life
we
forms
can't
are.
actually confirm that they are where they would have been, and we can't confirm that we're not going to get somebody else stuck in the crosshairs. So, for right this second,
I mean, no. I just need to know if that was an option, because we have to determine first what our course of action is. If we can lay something before Killian and say, this is what we have decided collectively to do, I'm sure that he will be more amenable than if we say, we want to do something, but...
Seabiscuit,
Affirmative.
is engineer in the tower.
Affirmative.
Can you summon him to the bridge, please?
Who's an engineer?
That's Killian's designation for this thing.
just start snapping the snooze button.
that was a strange dream.
Engineer.
Chief
engineer.
Speaking.
Chief engineer. Report to the bridge.
No.
Mom, it's 5 more minutes.
So Killian will head that way because he just woke up. Also, I didn't take Hector to the engine. You know, like
Yeah,
that's
no.
nobody else.
No.
But as I am padding my way up to the bridge, I'm not wearing shoes. He throws on his shirt. He pulls his pants on. No shoes, no belt, no, and just
Okay.
wandering around the tower until I get back onto the bridge.
All right. It will take you about 5 minutes to get there. So 5 minutes ish or so later, and Killian sort of pads out into the bridge.
What's the emergency?
Emergency?
Artemis, you're alive.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Yeah, what's the emergency?
There was an interesting plan presented that I think would be useful for when we decide that these people should go away.
These people being...
Oh, wait,
the three
hang
heads of the-
on. Seabiscuit?
Affirmative.
Why was I summoned to the bridge?
Your presence was requested.
Oh, you summoned me.
Yeah. I am.
Okay.
I am, for all intents and purposes, the captain of this here vessel.
That's...
Are you?
Yeah,
Exciting.
apparently, yeah.
What role am I, Seabiscuit?
Role undefined.
I get that a lot, that's fine.
Okay, sorry. So there's not an emergency?
No.
Okay, but you had a plan?
Yes. If we can get all of those, our 3 problematic people, once we've decided that we are ready, into the same room, apparently Seabiscuit can just remove all of the air.
Well, yeah.
Oh, you knew this already.
Well, I assumed.
And why was that not done?
And here we go.
This is why I said, without killing him.
They'd have to be in the same room.
Which they were.
We have to assume that they still need oxygen to breathe. We
Which is
have
a
to
fair
assume
assumption.
that they don't have an escape mechanism. And we have to assume that we're ready to take control of the order, which means we have to have somebody in place to assume control. Also, we have to assume that they don't have a way of sending orders to their people while they are suffocating in a room with no air. And also, you have to then get the bodies out of there without anybody throwing a riot.
Right.
So for all of those reasons, yeah, there was no reason to seal people in a room and suck the oxygen out so far. I mean, one of them, I'm not even sure what role I don't even know if he is our enemy or not for sure.
Fair. We're not actually positive what the Inquisition is about yet.
And I mean, that's even assuming that, that those are them that are in the room. I mean, they could send a double. They could send a changeling in their place for a meeting.
Oh, shit, that's right.
There's no guarantee that they are there, and as you pointed out last time, we're really only going to get one swing. So we better make sure we hit.
That is true.
Otherwise, they'll become impossible to deal with.
I have been building this out for quite some time. I don't want to mess it up now.
Hang on, that was your plan? Was what if we just put them in a room and we suck the oxygen out? That was the plan.
I didn't know that it was an option.
Well, to be fair, we had talked about this, but
I mean, it's
Artemis
also
has been in a room.
Yeah, believe it or
so-
not, I got stuck in a room, could not open the door.
Oh, yeah, the lockdown.
I just thought that the option
Did
should
you
be
ask
presented because I
Seabiscuit if you could leave the room?
Well, I was unaware that I could speak to any such entity.
That's unfortunate. Sorry about that.
It's alright.
If we realized that, we would have...
Company was interesting at the very least.
Should we clarify who Seabiscuit should have vocal commands?
Oh, I'm sure he does. He has the crew member
Right.
medallion.
Yep.
But I think what was being asked though is, we should probably make sure that it cannot take orders from anyone who doesn't have it.
Seabiscuit,
Affirmative.
do you accept commands from non-crew members?
Negative.
No, we're good. I mean,
Am I a crew member?
as long as you wear the medallion.
I'll tuck it on the inside of my shirt.
I mean, we could suck the air out of a room. We could also fly the tower up in the air and push them out a door. But
I mentioned that as well.
That still doesn't, that creates more problems than it solves, and it still requires us to be in a position to pull that off. And we still only get the one chance.
It was an option that I had not thought of, that I thought that in case you hadn't thought of it, which I'm not sure why I figured that you hadn't, you should be aware.
That's okay. I understand. I understand. I'm just tired still. Still that weird groggy. This floor is kind of cold.
It is indeed.
I did not put my shoes on.
It's warmer than average.
Then average what?
Floors.
The floor is like metal, right?
No, that's stone.
Okay, never mind.
You frequently, yes, you probably do frequently go around without shoes on.
Kind of a thing. I've slept on a fair number of them.
Anyway, I mean, if you decide you want to pull the trigger at any point, we can give it a shot. It's just you only get the one shot.
I think it would be maybe wise to see if we can have see. If I
Biscuit.
say it loudly, is it like?
I think if you say it softly, if you say it in your mind, even it can answer you.
Oh yeah, we did discover that, didn't we?
I did.
Affirmative.
I don't like that. Well, can we have it identify them as specific people so that if they are here, we can identify that?
I mean, potentially, but then you still run into the issue of not understanding how the system designates that. If it's a changeling, if
Yeah,
it's
we
something
could
like
try. I don't know if the system is. I don't know if the tower is able to distinguish between.
I mean, it did just.
You're at work. Stop it. Do your job.
That. He just gave you bardic inspiration.
Killian, Artemis, and Lucas all
Well,
have
I mean that's
bardic
fine, but
inspiration.
also do your job. Is he on his break?
Maybe, maybe not. Who knows?
It's not your break. Go to work.
The Seabiscuit,
Affirmative.
how do you identify individuals aside from uh, this thing? Because if it can speak to our minds, I figure.
Certain biometric markers distinguish individuals of like species.
Oh well, I mean, there's at
Certain
least that.
all species are unique.
So at least then we can identify whether or not it's a changeling.
Sure, I don't know if it can identify, like, you know, Rosk specifically. Unless we give him something that's like a marker it can track, right? So like if we snuck some special thing in like his pocket or, you know, whatever, then maybe it could track that. But if we just said this blip on the sensor specifically.
Regardless
The
of
Seabiscuit, is that a potential option? Can we give you like a particular biological entity that you can consistently identify?
Potentially.
Oh, well, that's
Well, the sensors can't give us anything like accurate, right? It can only tell us what is Seabiscuit.
Affirmative.
It's not like it's had anyone to talk to in who knows how long. Can you sense the creature types within the tower?
Affirmative.
Could you tell us what creature types are in said tower, please?
Humans, elves, half-elves, dwarves.
Okay. There are no demons here.
Unless the demons have cloaked themselves so they cannot be detected.
Fair.
I also don't hate the idea of having a tracking device so that we can see their movement, not even necessarily for, like...
Can we find their spirit web and just track that?
I mean, yeah, we can track them, yes. I don't know. I don't know how reliable I would trust it, both because they probably take precautions to not be followed or tracked. They could use magical means to prevent themselves from being tracked. It's going to be kind of a lot of work to mark them somehow. And
But
if
isn't that
it's
always
just,
going to be the potential issue? Like
yeah,
we
but
can,
the payoff is what? We know where they are?
well, and then we can deal with them at our.
Well, assuming they're in a place where we can
right,
get
but,
to them.
But that is sort of the end game still here, or am I incorrect?
Yeah.
I mean,
Because if that
yes.
is the end game, this is a step towards that.
I'm not sure that tracking them is better than luring them into a trap.
But I mean, by that metric, all of the same things apply. They could be using a doppelganger, or a double magical means.
Yep, which is why we have to earn their trust and then, or get advanced knowledge of where they'll be and have it be something that we're. There's no guarantees in any of this.
Right.
think at this
But
point-
that's all I was is like
Yeah,
the,
we could track them. That is an option. I personally am not sure that it is worth the risk
That's fair.
at the moment, but it is an option, and if we want to attempt it, we certainly can.
And at least with them at each other's throats, we'll also see some of the higher rung underlings that are also vying for power.
And none of this still changes the fact that, as far as I know, we don't have anyone ready to seize the power for us currently. So if you take them out now, it just leaves a vacuum for somebody else to fill.
I mean, I do feel like that is preferable myself, but as I was saying earlier, the two who have been most directly affected by these people. So,
I've done this wrong before, and I don't want to do it again incorrectly. And besides that, it's not just him that I have to worry about. I need to make sure that we're considering the collateral damage.
I think at this point we just have to wait for Rask to play the next
That's what I would say. Yeah, we're just waiting to see if Rosk takes either of the pieces of bait that I've thrown out there.
And what will that look like?
Well, he's either going to ask me to run negotiations with the Armada outside, or he's going to give us a tip-off about where we can find Inquisition members so we can grab one of them and interrogate them to learn more about the inner workings of the Inquisition. Those were the two options I floated in our meeting. And he said to give him a couple days and he would get back to me. So we wait and see.
There's some consideration of maybe having me deal with Corel.
Excuse me? Deal with Corel in what way?
Go do what I'm doing with Rosk, but to Corel. So that then we have an inside player.
She also
With
wants
her.
Rosk dead and probably knows that I do too.
Yeah.
It'd be real awkward, but
It's not a matter of awkward that I'm worried about. I am relatively certain she can tell when someone is lying to her through a magical means.
So don't lie.
Just say you want Ross dead. That's not a lie.
Just don't tell lies.
we'll have to kind of see where Killian's pull goes first, I suppose, before we know what we're supposed to be playing on the other side.
Have we thought of trying to send to see if we can talk to Master Kier, get like a meeting with him to see if he's willing to play ball with us?
I mean,
How?
I mean, I have sending.
how does that work, though?
I mean, I send a message, say, hey.
Can you send that to anybody?
If I... Let's say yes.
Let's say yes.
For all intents and purposes of this conversation, let's say
Look,
yes.
I know a master wizard, but my understanding of the arcane arts is pretty broad, and as far as I understand it, that's not how that works.
Listen.
Linda,
If I say it happened and Keith has an aneurysm and forgets how the spell works, it might go through.
So remind me again, what do you need to be able to send him a message?
Let me look through my grimoire and see what it says specifically.
I have to have his phone number,
Creature, you are familiar.
I'll get his social security.
Blood type,
Uh,
DNA sequence.
you send a short message to a creature that you are familiar with. If he's generic enough. If I just say
jokes
his
on
name,
him. If he's generic enough, everyone's familiar with him.
I mean,
Yeah, so I mean,
Alright, fine.
there's also the fact that if we send him a message, it could spook him.
true.
Or we could go to meet with him and, get ambushed by the entirety of the Inquisition.
To be fair, if he disappears, no one would know.
You're not wrong.
Who's gonna
Also,
identify
making
the
sure that
body?
we get the actual Amakir is also going to be impossible to know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can try any of these ideas. There's just, all of them carry inherent risks, and all of them have pros and cons.
I suppose we just wait.
That would be my vote, but they feel like Simi gets the final say in what she wants to do.
I know the end game that I'm working towards, and I feel like that's more important than acting right this second.
No,
How
Stephen,
very
don't
dare
do
you.
it. No, Stephen, don't do it. You have children to feed.
She's offering spite, but he's...
Steven's gonna have to go home this week and just watch as many ads as he
Doesn't
can.
let me do it anymore.
They're like, no, this guy's been abusing the...
Did you break the system?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, he it's the equivalent of being blacklisted from the casino.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I guess we wait till we hear from us
So we have
then.
more information.
Well, I mean, also, I have to wait. You guys can go do things. I need to be. I can't.
I
leave.
literally have nothing to do. Exactly.
I have an errand I need to run.
Would you like company? Because it seems that several of us have nothing to do. Because my target, and we've left the breadcrumbs for that already. So,
I mean, you might feel weird being there for the actual errand itself, but if you just want to come along,
what is the errand?
I'm gonna go to the where was it called? What was the name of the place?
It wasn't.
It was
The
not-
caravan?
It was an elven camp outside of town.
I'm gonna go to the caravan camp outside of town.
Do you wish to take in the circus?
Because you have the desire for a hat.
I have somebody I need to talk to.
Oh,
Okay.
And there might be some other cool people there too, I don't know.
So, next question. Do you have a way out of here without being seen?
Usually. I mean, out of this specific place, this specific moment,
this
I'll have
tower.
to look, but I mean, I suspect I probably can.
I will remind you, you were shown such a path last time.
Oh, thank you.
yeah.
Yes,
The,
then
The
yes.
stairway?
The answer is
the
yes.
cupboard, the door in the
Oh,
cupboard.
That's
the
right.
broom closet.
Yep.
Yes. So, yes.
Okay. Then, I mean, I would prefer you not go alone, particularly given the circumstances in which we find ourselves. Lucas,
Mm-hmm.
did you want to stay here? Did you have anything in particular?
I mean, I literally have nothing I can do until Rosk decides what he wants. So,
I do need to check my dead drop to see if I have any other particular orders, but aside from that,
Where is that located?
I'm just outside the cloister.
Okay. Yeah.
Incidentally, not too far from where is Dominic? Is he okay?
He went home last
Yeah,
night.
he was
Okay.
last night.
he's doing his usual monastery things.
I'm taking care of the gardens, is what I
Probably.
understand.
Yeah, laying low, keeping his profile to what they expect it to be.
Well, you all have fun. Try not to get into too much trouble.
Do you need somebody to keep eyes on you?
No. There's going to be so many people here watching me.
It also sounds like you could just shut the doors and they
Oh, yeah.
not have a...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. In fact, I'm going to go put my shoes on and then go put myself on public display to see if anybody wants to do anything about that. You guys have fun. It's going to head out.
Okay.
What are the odds that somebody decides that he's more trouble than he's worth and tries to simply assassinate him?
It's possible.
Yeah,
But who am I to say?
I'm shocked at how well this has been going.
I'll stay here then. Lucas, would you make sure that Simi is okay?
Yeah.
Thanks.
I will keep eyes on Killian.
That's probably good that somebody does. And yeah, you can ask Seabiscuit to show you things with where he is and get quite the show. It's impressive. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how he does it. I've got a lot to learn, but that's how it's
Seabiscuit,
today.
Affirmative.
can you talk to my brain anywhere that I am in the tower?
Affirmative.
Alright, would you warn me if anyone moves within, say, 10 feet of the engineer?
Affirmative.
Can you read?
Ping, 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 ping.
Yes, I'm
Bing, ding, 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 ding,
Maybe
ding, ding,
less
ding,
of that though. Is there any way to? Are you able to interface with the brains of everyone within this tower, or only those that have?
Negative.
Crew.
Crew members only.
That seems like an oversight. Interesting. Thank you, Seabiscuit.
Acknowledged.
We need an AI interface here. Okay. I will follow Killian then.
Okay.
And I am trying to watch for anybody who may make moves towards potentially hurting him. So
Fair enough.
that is what I will be doing.
I'm gonna go
Alright.
to the broom closet.
All right.
Room closet.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the exit.
Yeah. So the exit for the two of you, there is a side door sort of opposite the doorway that sort of leads out that you came in, and past that door, it's basically a long staircase around the perimeter of the tower. It's between basically the double halls. So there's the outer hall and then the inner hall, and it's a very narrow ladder that winds its way down between the halls down to the lower levels.
So we're gonna go go to the Elven Caravan then?
Yep, that's the plan.
Okay.
Sneak on over.
Alright.
So yeah.
Like sneak or like
I mean, we should
in the
probably
biblical
still.
sense or the metaphorical sense? Sorry, the metaphorical sense. Alright, sorry.
Explain to me first this thing you call biblical, and second,
Well, biblical
What's
was this world's version of Shakespeare.
Biblical Maximus.
biblical maximum.
Has written many a book. All fiction.
Interesting. The,
So we're just gonna go out the.
So in the biblical sense would be do 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 do.
we should probably try to not be seen.
Okay.
I intend on sticking to rooftops.
Okay.
Crotch sling?
No. I'll just walk.
Excuse me?
I'll walk the streets.
I don't know about that.
Well, hold on. Let me see if I have anything in my that might help us. I mean, I do have one spell that would make us incognito. Is there like wagon traffic here in the city, Keith?
There's a fair bit. Mostly carts, not so much wagons, but there are occasionally wagons.
Question. The reason why the caravan people don't enter into the city is because
They're not allowed.
Okay.
They're vagrants.
So I probably shouldn't summon a Vardo in the middle of the city.
They are. Yeah, probably not. They are. So they are the full elves. Most of them. There are some others with them,
Okay.
but the vast majority of them are full elves, and full elves are the equivalent of the Romanis,
Okay.
the gypsies, the traveling people,
But we
as it
don't
were.
use the word gypsies anymore.
No,
We
of
use
course
the
not.
word Romani.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay. I forget that you have that whole indiscernible everything
Yeah,
about you.
I can do that.
I'll stick above, but I'll be watching closely. I
Alright.
don't want you to have to
Alright.
crotch sling if you don't
So the
want.
two of you reach the exit to the stairwell. You pop it open. It is a broom closet. You close the door back behind you, and it becomes indistinguishable from just a wall
Okay.
with shelves.
I will cast Disguise Self on myself.
Okay.
Hmm.
And
I'll just try and be sneaky and hope for the best.
Well, I can also do that. But
okay then. I will, as you open the door, have you make me a stealth check, please.
It's high. It doesn't matter if it's high or not. It's a nat 20.
Well, I do get a DM advantage to try to see you. So we will see how this goes. I could possibly hit a natural 20. But it ain't likely. And I did not. And those dice are fired.
After
Just
one
for
roll.
not
After
kidding.
one roll.
Must
One
have been
roll
significantly
with
not a nat 20.
advantage. One was a 5, the other was a 2.
Sounds about right. Well, from what I've been
That's
rolling
rough,
today.
man.
Yeah, so
It's going around.
it's going around for sure. I'm about to have to do a cleansing on my dice, I think. All right, so you get that one, and you are basically as the door opens. It's really weird. From behind her, she's between you and the door, and as the door opens, the woman disappears.
Oh, okay. Do.
You hear and you hear. Suspicious.
Okay,
Be
okay,
suspicious.
Chipper. The next one, you get to roll my dice for me. Thank you.
Ha I like it.
You will, however, also have to do so at disadvantage because that's next in the queue as well. Okay, so on the list there is a DM disadvantage. There's a Killian Bardic Inspiration. There's an Artemis Bardic Inspiration.
Artemis Barnabas.
I like it.
And I-
But
There's a Lucas Bardic Inspiration, Killian Disadvantage, and Fire the Dice for the DM.
I am keeping that, by the way. Artemis Bartimus.
Artemis
I do like
Bardic.
that a lot.
Just so we know what is on the board.
All right.
Favorite brand of Artemis.
All right, so the two of you slip out into the main hallway. You're not all that far from the exit doors from the tower / Spelljammer. No one seems to see you, Sini. No one seems to be paying you any attention,
Hooray!
Lucas.
Till.
Such a cool skill.
So the two of you exit the tower and make your way across the grounds to the main gate of the cloister and exit there as well. It does take you a little bit to get across town. It's a fairly large city after all.
Expected.
And then afterwards it does take you about half an hour to 45 minutes to reach the actual campground for the traveling people.
This is a fair amount of exercise for poor Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
It really is. You Simi, could probably have gotten there a lot quicker, but you are having to deal with Lucas and his
What's that supposed to mean?
short legs and
Get used to it.
rotund figure.
Okay, I'll give you that one. Fine.
So, go ahead.
So I don't know what kinds of things you might want to get into here.
Me?
I don't. I have.
Are you? I mean this in the kindest way possible. Are you about to just dump a lot of info on me? I need to be mentally prepared for that.
I don't have to.
No,
okay.
it's fine. I just need to know so I know not to be an asshole.
Oh, I mean, does
Are you about to trauma dump?
Are you about to comment on me? Because if so, I need you to sound nice.
I mean, I'm talking to the person that I'm pretty sure is my dad, and I didn't know him ever.
Oh,
So, yes.
oh, I didn't know that.
So yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of depends on how traumatic you feel like that is.
Well, go for it, and I'll tell you if it's bad.
By comparison to most of the rest of my existence, I feel like it's not that bad. I've just never actually met him before.
Go on then.
So like you can be in the background for that, but I don't know what's about to happen here, and it could
Okay.
be awkwardly emotional. I'm not totally sure. It could also be not at all. I just don't know what to tell you, man.
All right. So what do you want out of this then? Just to know him, or looking for an apology?
I mean, he kind of sort of already.
Am I here? Should I have brought a shovel?
No, I don't think it's that kind of a thing.
Okay, good. I
do
hate
think that's
manual
fair.
labor.
That's the biggest issue here.
I'll save that one. just do immediately back to back there. Very, very well done. Yeah, I don't think it's that kind of a thing. No, yeah, you just.
Okay.
I didn't leave well when I found out. And while I don't necessarily know that I feel like that needs an apology.
Wait, you mean? Oh, is it the guy we had the curse thing with?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just found out about that just now.
Yeah, that it wasn't. Turns out that he didn't mean to leave. I was under the impression that he left us.
Right, the old
Yeah, that old story. I wanted to see where that was going. One of those.
It's the old. It's the old. I'm going to the market for death sticks.
Yes.
I'm going out to buy milk.
Turns out he was one of the people that ended up getting caught in the transfer when the worlds smacked together.
Ah.
So I guess they've been working on smacking together for a really long time.
But
It's a weird bird. That's a weird bird call.
Yep.
Give it to him, baby.
There's some
Give
weird
it to-
birds in this forest. The old Madame Cha bird.
That's awesome.
Oh.
So
Too late for them to be this south.
but yeah, I don't know that I owe him an apology so much as at least
Sit down and talk.
a conversation. And I gather that he didn't intend to leave my mother either, so the knowledge that she is alive and available might be of interest. I'm not sure. But yeah, I just feel like the last conversation wasn't so much of a conversation because I didn't know his story. I don't know that this is going to be much more of a conversation, but I guess we'll find out.
Oh, okay.
now you will find out he's dead.
Very recently.
Or something will become plot relevant while this visit happens.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Yes, who knows?
Who knows?
So yeah, that's the long and
Okay.
short of it. Did I give you the information that you needed to know if you were supposed to be an asshole or not?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Well, I was wondering, asshole, if, we're about to go, verbally abuse this man.
Oh, I just assumed you meant if you were supposed to be able to make fun of me or tease me about something. It didn't dawn on me you meant bury a body, asshole. I feel like that's an accomplice, not an asshole. But I get where you're going with that now. Okay, gotcha.
I gently pat you on, the thigh or whatever, and just, I'm not stupid enough to call you an asshole. Because I would never leave this forest if I did.
Oh, I just thought that you might be an asshole to me.
Yes. The statement still stands that if I would be a stupid idea to start calling you an asshole in the middle of the forest
Fair enough.
while we're alone. And I haven't brought a shovel with me.
You make good points all around. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Lucas looks around and goes, "Oh, there's nobody who could hear me scream. Look at that."
Huh.
Am I about to die? Is this the point of no return?
All right, we will come back to you guys when you get actually where you're going.
Yeah.
Killian, where are you headed?
Well, first Killian's gonna go put his shoes on.
Okay.
Having done that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go upstairs. Is Artemis following me this whole time?
Yeah.
So as we start to go out, I'm gonna look back at you. Are you sure you want to just follow me around? It's not gonna be that interesting.
Unless someone tries to assassinate you.
Yeah, I'm really not worried about that. In fact, that would be nice. That would move things along real quick. Okay, well,
Best no one's alone.
here we go. Killian is going to walk out. I'm going to go to wherever people get food in the tower.
Okay.
I'm going to make a big show of getting myself a nice big plate of food. I'm going to go sit down at one of the tables. I'm going to kind of lounge around, maybe like kicks his feet up on another chair. Killian's trying to make a show of him being around and out in the open to see if anybody's going to come. I mean, he's trying to see if anybody, tries to kill him. Does the Inquisition or Corel send somebody to come talk to him, and
Okay.
just seeing if anything happens. So he's going to do that for a little bit. Every single person that he gets within 10 feet of, you get a little.
Ding.
After that, he's just going to go wander around the tower and sit in very public locations where he's easily accessible and very prominently displayed
Okay.
to see.
May both of you make me perception checks.
23.
18.
18. There are some very obvious sets of eyes watching you and keeping tabs on you specifically, but they also are noting that you're, close by, and even if you're not in the stance of bodyguard, you're very clearly marked out as keeping an eye on
Yeah.
Killian as sort of protector kind
So
of thing.
that's actually not what I'm going for. What I am trying to give off is that I am subtly watching him, but I'm also sort of watching the area as well.
Okay.
My goal is that if they note specifically, and I'm not particularly sneaky about it, but if they see me, then I'm, number one, I look like the bumbling old man, but two, maybe I'm also supposed to be watching him.
Okay. Make me a performance check.
This is gonna be bad.
And Chipper, I need you, because you have claimed the fire the dice. You are rolling for me. I need you to make me, please, a
Still not gonna be good.
oh gosh.
'Cause I have a -2.
What,
14.
make me an insight check, or just roll a d20. It's going to be insight. Roll me a d20 at disadvantage.
Oh, she doesn't have her dice with her, probably. Does
Is it
have
not
the
in the
thing
chat?
set up to do a roll in chat?
It's not in. I don't think so. Hang on.
Oh, real dice? Apparently. We used to have it set up in chat, but apparently we failed that somehow.
Or fake dice, whatever you
Or
want.
fake dice, you can just kind of decide. Well, what was the other one? That one?
Yeah.
Oh,
You-
it does work. Okay.
Yeah, it does work. Okay, Chipper, I need you to use the command.
Juades.
The first one was mine.
Oh.
Give me the second roll.
If it's an 8, I'm going to say it's broken.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it's
that's.
not.
No. But because of disadvantage, it will
It
be
was the 8.
it'll be the 8
So
plus.
what dice am I supposed to roll for the bardic?
Bardic
D6.
is a
Just a d6?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's did. Helps to negate my -2 charisma, so 12.
12. I mean, it's going to beat what we got here.
Yeah.
So, all right. So they're not able to see through any sort of
Wait. is that
obfuscation that
Sorry,
you're
13.
not Ooh.
Because I have the +1 there.
Yeah, so they're not able to see through your obfuscation of what your actual intent is. So they're reading whatever it is that you are putting out
Cool.
for the world to
I
see.
am watching you.
All right. But there are several sets of eyes obviously on you. More than just 3. So you get a sense that everyone's got multiple people now keeping tabs, not only on you, but also on maybe the other spies, and maybe the spies from one faction are watching each other as well, because nobody trusts anybody at this point.
I'll give it a couple hours, just waiting to see if anything happens before I do anything about this.
Okay.
Worked as fast as rumor.
Well, I mean, they knew where he was,
They are
and
efficient.
everyone is keeping tabs on him.
And I'm certainly not trying to I'm not making it hard.
Yeah, he's not being subtle at all. Alright, let's just see here.
Hector's still.
That's what, no. So if nothing happens in a couple hours, I'm gonna start going and talking to each person and being like, "So who do you work for?"
So about nobody approaches you until sort of you're done with your meal.
Uh-huh.
And then
Set my plate down. I kick my feet out. Like,
once you are done, Hector does sort of come over.
Hector.
He's got his sort of empty plate too. He has finished his meal.
I have a dart in hand because I don't know who that is.
And he sort of grabs yours, stacks them together, then pushes them off to the side and sits down across the table from you.
glad to have you again, Hector.
So what you doing today?
The same thing I was doing yesterday.
Tried to
fun.
take over the world. Sorry.
Sounds like fun, I guess.
It'll keep me entertained, if nothing else.
So why are you as important as you are?
That's a great
Self-important.
question. Because I, unlike everyone else here, am not a member of the Order.
You're not?
Nope. So I can do things that they can't send people like you or anybody else here to go take care of.
Well, I mean, they could. I mean, they could send the Inquisition, though. Don't
Right,
they
but,
sort of
but
work?
the Inquisition's not going to be very
books?
good at, like, going and negotiating with a hostile fleet of ships outside your city.
I guess.
I, on the other hand, are what we call a neutral party.
It kind of depends on what you mean by negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're in.
So I'm important because nobody else here knows what to do with me.
Same.
Is that a good thing? Seems like it would get confusing real fast.
You know, you'd think that. So far, it hasn't been too big a problem yet.
Huh.
I mean, it's probably confusing for you, and I'm going to gesture like generally towards all the other people I know, or towards like all of you. But for me, it's pretty simple, pretty easy.
You.
So what?
You're like that one mercenary who's just like, I get shit done. I have run of the place. What are they gonna do? Fire me?
Yeah, I would mostly chalk it up to nobody else knows what I'm here for or like what I do. So everybody has to watch me to try and figure that out because it would be too hard to just ask.
And I'm going to go,
So what are you here for?
No, just help bring stability back to the empire, help maybe encourage more productive relationships between the order and the rest of civilization.
You don't think the Order's being productive right now?
Not particularly. I mean, again, when your first gut instinct is we need the Merchants Guild to help us with something, let's go march in there and threaten them until they give us what they want. That does not breed partnership. That only encourages people to work against you when they can. Now, if on the other hand you go ask them for help and you cultivate a good relationship with them, then they'll help you
because you're friends and not because they're afraid of you. Fear can only take you so far.
I think that kind of makes sense. And I never would have thought about that, actually.
I think that's the biggest problem here, is that most of the Order just seems to have never considered that, using the heavy hand and the all stick, no carrot approach, that only takes you so far. See, you don't have to worry about people rebelling against you if everybody likes what you're doing. But when everybody hates what you're doing, then you have to have an entire order of people whose whole job is to, root out the dissenters. Because you can't manage to get anything done because everybody just wants to work against you.
Kind of makes me wish there was a voice talking about the carrot rather than the stick
Yep.
inside the Order.
So hopefully, maybe things will change, but...
Okay. Yeah, we'll keep our eyes open, I guess.
I'm going to lean over to Hector, I'm going to look around at everybody and be like, all right, Hector, that one. Who do you think they work for?
I don't know, they spend a lot of time in the gardens.
Ooh, I bet they work for Odessa.
Maybe.
You want to go find out? I'm going to stand up from my table and
Where are
we'll
you
walk
going?
over there.
Oh. And he just sort of puts his hand down and watches from where you've been sitting while you go over.
Oh, Hector.
Killian will grab a chair and drag it along so it makes a big, the noise draws attention, sit down next to him. So who do you work for?
I work for the Order and for the good of the people of the Empire.
Yeah. Which part of the Order are you here for?
And get this great big sort of eyes wide. I don't know what you mean.
Well, somebody told you to come sit here and either watch me or watch one of them. So who told you to come do this?
I was just curious. And he grabs the plate and just scurries off.
Corral!
He hunches his shoulders and scurries a little faster.
Hope to see you again. And again, I'm going to lounge around again for a little while. But again, if nothing happens after a few hours, I'm just going up to each one of them and doing this to see if this provokes anything interesting.
I mean, so each time you do that, each time it has become apparent that the minders, even though they're not really all that subtle, are getting singled out. They just sort of hop up and it's because obviously their instructions were also don't be seen, don't be obvious about it. All of them are failing at that. So after after the second or third one, there's this would you look at that mass exodus? Lunchtime is over, and everyone
clears out.
Everyone that was watching you clears out, and there's just this mass exodus out of the dining hall.
Is there going to be anybody left once?
There are a few, and it looks more like the run of the mill sort of not really heavily invested in any particular dogma members of the Order. The ones who just keep their heads down and do the job. Okay. Maybe they belong to a particular sect, but it's also not nearly as important. They're not the fringes of what's happening with the Order. They are sort of the central,
Gotcha.
Body of the Order.
This Order needs a color code system.
If everybody could
More
just
pins.
if everybody could just coordinate their uniforms so I can look at a glance and tell who you work for.
So at that point, it's at that point, it's a lot fewer people around. Both of you make me a perception check real quick.
25.
27.
Okay. Both of you kind of at the same time from one of the smaller sort of groups that are sort of still eating, kind of huddled together. Both of you hear a familiar. Well, maybe it's familiar to you. I don't know. It is certainly familiar to you. You hear a name that piques your interest. Master Itzhak.
Wait,
I'm gonna eavesdrop as best I can without being obvious, Keith.
You get a sense that whoever's doing the talking, and it sort of passes around a little bit, is talking about how it feels more like what the order should be. That Master Itzhak has been sort of talking about service, talking about lifting up people rather than hunting them down, talking about being open to a changing world, and maybe some ideas that had been heretical before in light of recent upheavals might need to be addressed. One of them, you kind of hear a little bit of a rustle as one of them sort of folds back up a little bit of parchment and tucks it back in their robes.
I'm gonna make note of who that is, but
Okay.
not draw attention to
Right.
that, not do nothing.
Right. Okay. So you sort of put together, an idea of the face and the build of the person. It's a little bit kind of hard to tell build-wise because robes, but you get a sense of facial structures. It is a female monk.
Is this anybody that I might know from my time here?
Not this particular person. If you recognize her at all, it's only because you may have seen
Faces
her
in
in
passing.
passing, but she's not been in the circles you've been in.
Okay.
So you're still in here,
Yeah.
and is it looks like all the other minders are
All but Hector.
okay.
and I am assuming you
And-
didn't come up to me and ask
No,
me.
no.
And Hector has
Because you don't like to lie.
and Hector has sort of cleared off the dishes that you had at your table and is back there, actually, just sort of watching you, hand on his chin, just like,
Once I've run them all off, I'll come back and sit down next to Hector.
so what was that?
Oh, I wanted to know, it is easier for all of us if we just figure out, okay, like, you were sent to watch me from the Inquisition. Okay, so you can come sit at the table, you'll just, follow me around. We don't have to make this hard and difficult for everybody. Apparently, they were supposed to be secretive about it. Honestly, if this keeps happening and they keep sending people this bad at it, I'm going to have to go have discussions with those two to set up a better system, because this just isn't going to work for anybody.
Yeah.
See, this is just a waste of resources at this point.
Yeah, especially when there's other things that could be talked about,
Right.
Like the freaking armada that's
See,
out there.
Yep. And clearly I'm not trying to hide, so I don't know why it's necessary to...
So you got sent out there, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Is it true that there are like animal people out there too?
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, I know. It was
So
super strange.
So the bunnies are not the only ones.
Nope, there was a shark. There was a gull. There was this thing with orange fur and black stripes.
Never seen that before.
Huh.
It was super strange. There were also like humans and like normal people, but never seen that before.
So strange. Yeah, my aunt lives in town, and she sent me a note that she was in the market yesterday, I think, and saw some like really weird looking furry people in the market, and it was causing a little bit of a stir.
Oh, I'm not surprised. It's very unexpected.
She said there were a couple of really tall, like gray-skinned ones, great big ears, long noses that kind of drug the ground almost. Used their noses to pick things up. It was so bizarre.
That is strange.
Yeah.
Prehensile noses. Bootstra.
Thank you.
When she saw those, she turned and went the other direction.
Understandable. Well, you know, that's what you get when you try and invade somebody's homeland and lose, I guess.
We lost?
Well, I don't think we won, given that they came here. That's not usually what the losing side does.
I hadn't thought about that. I just figured they were integrating with the Empire now.
Oh no. They were very upset. They said they had been very poorly treated. They were very upset about their sons dying in bloody wars.
I'm surprised they weren't looking for a fight.
Oh, I think they were, but I had managed to
His face just sort of goes pale.
talk them into maybe being not taking it that far.
Do you think the Order can stand up to them?
No. I mean, the city could put up a fight. I don't think the city can win. That's you know, that's an entire army, and they all have a personal bone to pick with the Empire.
If it was the Empire and not just the city, who knows? The city.
But again, this is what happens when your strategy of dealing with other people is we invade your homeland and, you know, force you at sword point to do what we say.
Excuse me. And he pushes back from the table, stands up, and walks away.
I'm gonna follow him. I have nothing better to do today.
And I'm going to pretend to be sneaky.
Okay.
I'll do my own theme music as I follow you.
So he goes to sort of the central well and starts up. He doesn't go up very far, 2, 3, maybe 4 levels, and he turns off into one of the side corridors and makes his way into looks like his cell, his quarters, very small. He does. I mean, he's not trying to like outpace you. He's not trying to lose you or anything like that. But he's also, you get a sense that whatever his assignment was, is now taking a back seat to whatever is on his mind. And he goes into his quarters, and the door slides shut behind him.
That's okay. I can still read his mind, and I will lean up against the wall outside the door and read his surface thoughts to see what's going on.
Parchment, quill and ink. He's writing a note. It's to his aunt. Sort of outlining, and it's kind of weird. His surface thoughts are sort of back and forth. How does he word it? How does he do this without giving secrets away? How can he get it out past anybody looking at his note, because he knows they're going to. And he sort of, you get a sense that his note is to the effect of, we can't win. Get out now. And then once the note is written, you get a sense that he's trying to make up his mind about something.
And I'm just leaning casually on the wall watching you.
You're doing the like.
I have to been stretching here for 10 minutes.
This is my stretching wall. Stretch here every day. Nothing
Yep.
suspicious.
Killian will
about
just be
this.
leaned up against the wall right outside his door, waiting for him to come out.
Okay. You're not real sure that he's planning on coming out anytime soon.
I got nowhere better to be and nothing better to do, Keith.
Okay. Well, we will come back to you guys then.
I gotta put on the drama Simi had.
So Simi and Lucas.
Take a minute to prepare yourselves. Do the.
So the two of you find the traveling people encampment. It is subdued is not the right word because it's not. It's still very much sort of boisterous and rambunctious. It's still sort of a halfway to a party. If you hadn't been here before, it would seem downright joyful. But both of you have been here before. And the party atmosphere is sort of a thin facade. And you can kind of see the uncertainty, the fear maybe, a little bit, the uneasiness at very least, sort of shining through some of the thin spots of the facade. The people here are anxious. You're not real sure why, but they're doing their level best to not make it obvious that they're anxious. And the effort itself is showing how anxious they are.
Well, I'm gonna have to ask about that in a second too.
Okay.
So you're heading for Dad's wagon?
Yeah.
Okay. So you get there. It's sort of still in the prime place in the midst of the caravan. He is actually sitting out on his stoop, strumming on a lute.
Oh, I was counting on having a knock. Oh, this makes it so much worse. Oh.
And as he looks up and sees you, you see a whole world of emotions sort of run across his face before he sort of tucks them all away and puts on a very carefully neutral expression. Hello.
Hi.
Oh.
Oh, you're there too.
Were you just in the encampment looking for supplies, merriment, a good time? What brings you out here?
I gesture as though to say, let her talk.
Oh, that's a dangerous game, Lucas. I actually came out to talk to you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a seat. And he will gesture to sort of the step next to him.
She'll kind of awkwardly walk over. She kind of pulls out the letter. She gestures to Lucas, like, wherever you want. Yeah.
Okay.
And I turn around.
All
I'm gonna just go investigate why there's a bit of a somber note in the camp.
Okay.
This is
not
my place.
So it will take you a little while to pry it out of them, but they're nervous about the nervous about the invasion and what it might mean for the city and the environs around it. But it will take you a little bit to find that.
Okay.
I
will reassure any I talk to and reassure them on the current
Okay.
political situation.
Okay.
Without saying too much.
Yeah, I was going to say things are fine, and we have a double agent within the order that will.
Like, Lucas, shut up!
Do make me a
Oh.
make me an investigation check real quick.
He's good at that one.
Oh,
Roll my halfling luck.
That's not a good start.
It's 3 points better.
I will remind you, you also have a bardic inspiration on the table.
That is true.
Didn't you get like a boatload of inspirations for various bird calls and such?
I don't know about that. I just have. Oh yes, I did.
I was like, yes, you do. They're right in front
and
of you.
Artemis has used his too. So,
How many dice are you firing tonight, buddy?
Killian,
All of
reminder,
them.
you've got a bardic inspiration, but you also have a disadvantage on the table as well.
Who
we will,
gives?
we can do those separately. So the next one will be your bardic. The one after that will be disadvantage.
Oh, was that a chip or two?
The bardic inspiration was Jaren.
Oh.
Killian, Chipper gave you the disadvantage.
I see who my real friends are.
I mean, she leaves the table and then starts popping disadvantage. You know,
A 23.
Fucking disadvantage.
How many
like they're
inspiration did you have to bring?
3.
All the disadvantage.
all right.
Yes, you are. And we love you.
So one of the as you're sort of wandering about, you do happen across one of the wagons where the occupant has set up a sort of smithy out to the side. So a blacksmith plying her trade.
Oh, cool.
And as you sort of you've got sort of other things on your mind and you're not really paying all that much attention, but she pulls this blade from the fire and grabs her hammer and starts hammering on it, and you don't really see how it happened, but one of the embers from the fire sort of falls out.
Okay.
And she goes to stomp it out, and the hammer keeps hammering while she's doing it.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
I like it.
And then she comes back and just picks up right where it left off.
Okay. Alright. Good to know. I might talk to her later after this conversation.
Yeah. So yeah, I got your letter. And I realize that as much as it sucks that you weren't there, it's not your fault. So I should at least talk to you and let you know that I appreciate you writing to me. Also, you should probably know, since clearly you were very fond of my mother, that she is still alive. And I can tell you where she is.
And you can kind of see him fighting back the tears. That is more than I could have hoped for. I take it she's not in Costas.
No.
That explains why I wasn't able to find her.
It's pretty far off. It'll take you several weeks to get there, but
Months.
months.
3 months. 2 months.
Months.
That's. You know what? I still think it's worth it.
You can find her in Setterton. She has a winery. It's a nice place.
We always talked about that. Was she happy?
I think so. Some of the times. Not totally sure.
Why not?
Realizing that she had just given away that she wasn't there the whole time. Like, there's this look of panic that washes over her face.
If you don't want to tell me, it's fine. I'm missing a piece of the story, and I don't need to know it. It's fine. I don't need to know anything you don't want to tell me.
I she just kind of like shrugs and is a little speechless.
If you want to tell me later, that's fine.
I don't know what's mine to tell and what's not mine to tell. I don't know what I have any business talking about.
That's fair. Until you're sure, it's better to not say anything at all. That's okay.
I'm not really good with the whole talking thing. I'm sure you've picked that up by now.
A little bit, but that's okay. I'm a stranger to you. You don't know who I am. You didn't grow up calling me. God, I don't even know what you would have called me.
Me neither.
But I am a stranger to you, and there's no there yet. And I know if it was my choice, I would build that with you, let you get to know me as your father and get to know you as my daughter, but we don't have that. Much as I wish we did. And I don't blame you for being hesitant, and I don't blame you for being distant. I only want what you're willing to give. I've missed knowing you this long. If it takes a full lifetime, well, the strangest thing, I didn't even realize I was missing anything. Elves on the other world, and even half-elves, I suppose, live much longer lives than they do here, than we do here. They live hundreds of years longer than the humans do.
That seems really inconvenient.
I thought so too, but they're used to it. And I guess I got used to thinking in those terms because I was about to tell you that we have a much longer lifetime than we thought, but we don't.
That sounds exhausting.
I agree. I'd much rather grow old with my human friends, my dwarven friends, than outlive them.
That's
It seems very sad. The shorter life makes life precious, I think. Makes you remember what's important. But you didn't come here for me to wax philosophical.
I don't mind. I haven't had a lot of it. I guess from a few avenues, but
Like that Acherai fellow.
she like turns beet red.
Ah, there it is. My daughter's in love. I do love to see that. Is he good to you?
That's a complicated question.
Now,
And is that a good thing?
I'm never really sure.
Why?
It's hard to trust people sometimes. I mean, you can love them and you can trust some things, but people are all people at the end of the day. Sometimes it's easier if you just decide who you're going to be as you walk through the world and just assume at the end of it you're going to be alone.
Maybe it's easier, but it's also emptier and a lot lonelier. He's gonna bend down, set the lute to the side, and pluck up like 2 or 3 long blades of grass. Each one of these is perfectly capable of living on its own. But they're also very easy to break. And he breaks one, sort of drops it by the wayside, grabs another in its place, starts to weave them together. Together, like strands of a rope. They're stronger, and he tries to break them, and they flex against each other. They support each other, and none of them break. People are like that. When we support each other, and he sort of glances around, it's better for everyone.
She kind of looks out and just
Burdens
watches.
are lighter because more people are helping to carry them. Loads move faster, go farther. And joys are sweeter. Parties last longer.
Never really done the party thing. I don't think your experiences and mine line up quite so well.
Perhaps not, and that's as much my fault as anyone's because I wasn't here.
You didn't make that choice.
No, but I have to live with the consequences. So I choose to accept that burden if it helps to lighten yours, even by that much. But here I am going philosophical again.
Like I said, I don't know that I mind.
You're welcome here for any of my philosophical talks that you want. Although I say that, you're welcome wherever I am for my philosophical thoughts. I have to talk to everyone else, but I know for my part I'll probably be moving on soon.
Headed to Sutterton?
Perhaps. The longing has been building, but now that I have a goal in mind, a place to aim for, I think maybe I can hold it at bay a little bit more, a little bit strongly. And he reaches out as the silence falls, and you can see he sort of hesitates, but then he puts his hand on your knee and just sort of tenderly squeezes.
She doesn't meet it, but she accepts it.
If you need refreshment or a pick-me-up before you leave, tell any of the wine cellars to put it on my tab. Have a drink on me. If you'll excuse me, I do have some conversations to have. And he gets up, picks up his loot, sort of glances at you one last time, and walks off into the encampment.
She just kind of like leans over, puts her head on whatever like there is available.
Mm-hmm. And there are passers-by, and they glance over and look at you, sitting there on his stoop. But they all leave you alone. No one approaches.
I mean, I'd be scared of me too. It's fine. At some point, she will like stand and kind of dust herself off and go and find a beverage. She'll have a drink on him,
All right.
and then she'll find Lucas.
Yep.
See if he's partying with somebody somewhere.
You think too highly of me. He's merely found the nearest location with breakfast food.
So what else have you looked for, found? What have you been up to? Anything else?
I'd like to get the name of the woman who was blacksmithing, please.
Jillian.
Jillian. Okay. With a J or a G?
J.
Okay. That could be a useful thing to know. Okay. Yeah, other than just going around and ensuring everyone that the Armada is in tentative negotiations with the current government
Okay.
over what is the word I'm looking for? Repercussions of
Reparations?
reparations.
Okay. All right.
So
All right.
at the moment, there's no threat at the moment. Just talks
Would have
of
been
peace
so
right
funny
now.
if you just went around and you're like, no, it's okay. It was a misunderstanding about fishing laws. They're renegotiating fishing lanes.
Okay. So everywhere you go, make me a persuasion check.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Miss Rose, you're part of the establishment. You're the man.
Dirty 20.
That is a 1. I'm cashing that in. For a freaking 6? Are you kidding me?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Okay. Pretty much everywhere you go, it seems to calm some of the nerves. So when at last the two of you meet up,
Are you sauced?
Probably.
Oh boy.
She had to keep a whole lot in. She didn't say 90% of what she thought.
Oh boy.
Hi,
Hello.
how you doing?
Good. Better than
Good.
you.
Good.
Yeah, better than you are, Curly.
Did you like the blacksmith? I saw you talking to blacksmith.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
She's
Are
pretty.
you wanting to head back now?
Oh, I guess maybe we should.
Okay. Well, does she look like she can even walk straight right now?
I mean, she can walk.
Straight is not.
Straight is
Oh boy.
I should probably say goodbye
a
first.
little bit meandery.
All right. Let's go say goodbye.
Okay.
Now who's the responsible adult?
Yeah.
So I gotta go find dear old dad.
Okay. He does have his head down in sort of a, looks like a bit of a if there is such a thing, a council meeting, it is a meeting of people that seem like they wear a little bit of responsibility. Not that you can tell. This is more for Lucas. They're sort of discussing and pointing off to the northwest. As the two of you approach their conversation, one of them sort of notices you and nudges dear old dad, Elra, and sort of points your direction, and the conversation dies down. He sort of looks over, takes in the tableau, and just sort of grins. It's like, well done.
So we got a lot of high level shit going on. And as long as all of that goes well, I will hopefully be seeing more.
That sounds delightful. Thank you so very much for that. And I will see you when I see you.
Okay.
Take
Okay,
care.
let's go.
Take care of your.
Okay,
Take care of her.
I will. She's the only one who can keep you alive.
Okay.
And the two of you sort of.
Okay, so I'll exit with her out of the camp, and I'll just be like, stand here against this tree for 10 minutes, please.
Those kids were fast as lightning.
Okay.
Do it.
I am going to, for the first time ever, cast Majdak's Traveling Vardo,
Okay.
which summons a Vardo and a horse.
Okay.
And I'm just going to be like, okay, enter the back here. Oh, here, hold on.
Into the tiny home.
In fact, it was a
I just
little
wanna
bit
look up that-
frightening.
Well, hold on. I'll let you look at the spell I made for it. If you want to just see what it does.
Ha!
So I'll put her in the back of the Vardo. For anyone wondering what a Vardo is, it is a Romani traveling wagon. So one of the big ones where it's like a...
again.
It's like the European version of a Conestoga.
Mhm. And I'll set her in the back there, and there's like a big plush bed in there. Little, if just look up a picture, you'll figure it out. Figure out what it is, Vardo. And I'll just set her in the back on the thing, and it's like, all right, just sober up, I guess. I'll just shut the door, raise the, and then just go off to the side and just sit in the thing, and just like. Okay, go! And the horse will head to the nearest road
Okay.
and then follow it in a direction towards town.
Awesome.
And
Sounds
we will figure out afterwards.
good. All right.
Until
Just-
Yeah, no, it's like it's a spell I've always wanted to make. And it's basically the Conjure Tower that we used in Tomb of Annihilation, but this one's just mobile and much smaller.
What color is it?
Let's go with a green today.
Okay.
You want to remind yourself what it does.
And every
So,
now and then,
we
until
just-
she sobers up, you just hear this ha!
Okay.
Do-do-do-do. Ha! Da-da-do-do-do.
Yeah.
She will
And we
eventually sober
begin
up, though.
traveling
All
back
right.
to.
So you guys begin traveling back to Costas.
Liberated.
Did you want to see?
So it is almost an hour and a half that he is in his.
What's he doing? Just paranoid
writing.
writing
Well,
letters.
Keith,
Just as a
what is
reminder.
he thinking?
He for a lot of it he's back and forth on. Do I stay? Do I go? Where do I go if I go? If I stay, do I want to be part of whatever? So he's sort of deep in analysis paralysis. About 50 minutes in, he sort of makes a decision, or you get a sense that he comes to a conclusion, and then starts sort of, you get a sense that he's now organizing things in his head for what he needs to take with.
Mm.
When the door finally opens, he is in civvies. He's in civilian clothes. He is not wearing robes of the order, and he's got a pack slung over his back.
So I'll just be leaning and go, so did you decide which direction you're going to go? North, west, or south?
Haven't really decided, but I think my aunt may need some input on that as well.
That's fair. Well, Hector, good luck. I'll miss you. Don't get caught.
Wasn't planning on it,
Good.
and then he sort of exits and leaves.
Jeez.
Actually, yeah, so as he's starting to go, Killian's going to stop for a minute, turn and look at him. There's a place
Then I
called
know.
the Valley of the Four Kings.
I thought you were gonna send him to Ilweg.
I think a man like you could do good there. It's not an easy road, and it's a long one, but it's far from here and very different from the way things are here.
Isn't it also particularly dangerous right now to get there?
I'll keep that in mind.
And then I'll head out. I'll let him go past,
Yep.
and then I'll just look at Artemis. Stop any assassinations.
But there's nobody here.
I know.
I just want to make sure. It's important. You are important.
I mean, I'm thoroughly confident in my ability to prevent it from happening, but... What time is it, Keith? What time of day?
By this point, it's just afternoon.
See, the problem is you're going to want to go with me if I go to stir the pot.
I mean, I can just look like I'm on orders to follow you and doing a bad job of it.
Yeah, but that's going to get awkward when I go try and meet with Odessa.
That pot.
Yep.
That would be problematic.
Yep. That's why I said you're going to want it to be there, but you can't be there for that part. But I kind of feel like going and stirring the pot.
Well, I guess I can go and ask the what did you guys call it? Biscuit?
Sea biscuit.
Ask Seabiscuit if he can. He?
It?
It
They?
It
Can let me watch and be.
Yeah, we can
close or
see. I don't know
something.
how far it'll go because you know
try
she's
and
not in the
pinpoint a
tower.
tracker
but-
and see if it works. I mean,
But first, I have to go let Rosk know that I'm going to go stir the pot. So that'll be fun.
See, that one I could follow you for. The other one probably shouldn't.
I mean, I'm not even going to actually meet with him because he said not to bother him. Also, I don't want him to. I want him to have enough forewarning that he's not surprised by it, but not enough forewarning to stop
to
me.
deal with it. Fair.
Oh, he's got. I'm going to go back.
If you'd
in.
like, I could deliver a message, and that would at least get me.
Oh no, I'll
something to do.
deliver it myself.
Okay.
I'm going to go back into Hector's room and use his paper to write a note
Okay.
that says, "Am bored, had idea, going for a meeting with Corel to," and I'm going to leave sort of, like enough of a space that you can tell there's a pause there. Unbalance her.
The one's already
Kill it.
balanced.
who are you sending that to?
I'm going to fold it up and I'm going to go walk up to Rosk's office, where I assume he is.
Okay. And so the guards are there.
I'm just going to hand him the note and say, "That's for Master Rosk when you get the chance." And I'm going to turn around and walk away. As I'm walking, I'll just say behind me, "He'll know who it's from."
You're gonna.
I'm not going. I'm not
You're gonna
disturbing
make
him.
that
You
man
disturb him.
so
And-
stressed.
And back and
no.
forth. You kind of, as you glance over your shoulder, you see them sort of
Trying to-
potatoing
I'm just gonna-
back and forth.
I'm gonna yell down the hall.
Nope.
You can just give it to him when he comes out. It's not that time sensitive.
I guess I'll go back up to the control room and I'll tell you, like, I'll see what I can.
Yeah, we'll see if it
learn.
works.
Well, and I'll also try to, like, familiarize myself with what our capabilities are, since that is apparently something important. My voice is going further again.
Oh no!
Stupid voice.
Okay. We'll come back to you.
Yep.
So you're going to head up to the bridge.
Seabiscuit,
Affirmative.
do you have a preferred
Pronoun?
pronoun?
Error. Undefined query.
I hate this. I don't even know what's wrong with my questions. Seabiscuit, is there like a manual or something that I
Oh,
can
no.
learn?
Oh, no! You chose the worst.
That I can
Make
learn
me a
about you?
Constitution saving
I
throw.
believe, yeah. Good luck. Not bad, not bad.
Could be worse. 15.
15? All right. Affirmative. And you feel a mental pressure as all of the data starts to be downloaded into your brain. It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't feel. It feels like maybe it has learned something from other interactions, and so it's not pressing quite as hard. But it is still
Past users are not
uncomfortable.
mentally prepared for such.
It is
just sitting down.
It has throttled. It has definitely throttled the information, and as it's going in, it's sort of manipulating it and making it fit better, and it's still hella uncomfortable.
So I'm probably not going to be watching you
Nope.
because I'm going to be sitting
You're gonna be sitting there just cross-eyed trying to.
Yep, nobody warned me. Okay, I guess that's what I'm doing for the next however long.
Okay. All right. So unaware of what is going
Yep.
on.
So I am leaving the tower.
Okay.
I'm gonna find a.
Corel supporter.
Not even. I'm just gonna find the first person I see. I'm like, where is Odessa Corell's office?
And you're going to get pointed to another structure within the cloister, separate
So
from
she's not in the tower.
separate from the tower. It's sort of a. It's not grand enough to be a keep,
Mm-hmm.
but it was sort of going that direction.
It's fortified.
It is fortified, not to the level it's going to keep out any determined whatever, because after all, this is ostensibly a church grounds, but it is somewhat fortified at least.
Okay.
A single person, unless they knew how to find the cracks, which you do, would never be able to find their way in.
Okay.
If it had been locked down, which it's not.
Which is stop.
Which
Yep.
it's not. There is an attached library to it because there's got to be some place to keep the knowledge that's being pulled in
Public
from
knowledge.
Yeah, public knowledge. So there is that. Couple of storeroom type areas adjacent. The cloister's stables are sort of halfway between the keep and the tower, but they're sort of in that same direction you're heading. The wagon yards are sort of closer to that direction than Durask's. So a lot of the wagons, when they're not being used, they're being maintained over there. That kind of thing. Loaded wagons are heading to a warehouse that sort of sits adjacent between them all.
Any of those wagons
Wink,
look familiar, Keith?
I mean, they're wagons.
There's a broken one.
Hole in the bottom.
There is one that is sort of up on its back. Wheels have been taken off, and they're trying to figure out how to put patch the hole.
Yellow rope starting it off. It's like it's a crime scene.
There's a couple more that are having wheels repaired, sort of that kind of thing.
Actually, we didn't damage the.
No, I
cart.
put a little hole through it so that I could
true.
suck all the.
Yeah. So you're kind of pointed that direction.
Okay. I will head in there, and once I'm like, okay, I don't know where. Again, I'm just grabbing the first person I see.
Okay.
I need Mistress Corell's office, please.
Go through the grand hallway. Take the stairs up to the 3rd floor, and she's got her office is there, sort of looking over the rear courtyard.
Great, thank you very much. I will
Okay.
head up to her office.
Okay. Much like Rosk's office, there are a couple of guards standing out front. Unlike Rosk's office, they don't know you and they block your path.
So,
Who goes there?
My name's Killian. I need to have a little talk with Mistress Corell. She doesn't know I'm coming. I'm not on the schedule, but I'm pretty sure if you just let her know that Killian from the Valley is here to talk to her, that she'll just give me right in.
Wait there. And one of them, sort of, blocks the way,
Uh-huh.
Howard across the path. The other one steps in. You hear his footsteps receding across what can only be a marble floor. And he's gone for a good long while.
I like to think that you know what a marble floor just sounds like. Not that you even see it or anything. It's like
It's just a distinctive
marble
sound.
floor?
Marble floor. Very nice, very nice.
And then after a little bit, you start to you do hear the footsteps
Uh-huh.
coming back. He slips back through the doorway, sort of leans in and whispers to his associate, and they step aside. So,
Thank you, gentlemen.
You may enter.
And I will go in.
Okay. It is. You have never been in the Imperial throne room. Because by the time you got to
Okay,
Costas,
yep.
it was not the kind of place to go. You have, however, heard descriptions from
Milo.
Milo. Thank you. I lost
actually,
the
you
plot.
might. Actually, he has seen.
I was gonna
the
say, I think
Imperial
he
Throne.
showed us.
There is. I did show them
Oh,
the
okay.
moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The moment I burst through the glass ceiling.
I had forgotten.
No, it's fine. That was like 3 years ago.
Ages ago,
It's been
yeah.
ages. So you have a pretty good idea what the Imperial throne room looks like. This is not quite as grandiose. It's not quite to the same scale. But it very clearly had the same architect. Marble floor, as you suspected. There are a modest number of columns leading down from the entryway to the other end. Sort of, if it was a church, you'd call it the naves along the side, so a little bit lower ceilings. They do have sort of an upper walkway there as well, where there are actually a fair number of look like just little small 2-person standing tables, sort of banquet style kind of stuff. Down on the main floor, between the raised walkway and the columns, there are little seating areas, little plush seating areas. You get a sense that if she wanted to, Mistress Corell could hold court in this space.
And
And has.
Some very
About-
bad sermons.
About halfway down, about halfway down, there start to be bookshelves lining the walls, filled with tomes. And each of the bookshelves has a locking cage blocking its access. And they're all locked up at the moment. At the far end of the hallway, the Great Hall, whatever you want to call it, is a truly massive desk. If you think back to your sand table, it's about twice that long, twice that deep, and it is dressed to impress. Intricate carvings in the woodwork, different inlays of dark ebony woods and gold filigree, gemstone filigrees.
Jeez.
All it just opulence galore.
Oh, I know where the budget went.
Definitely.
It wasn't to pay you.
Definitely, a lot of money has gone into this whole thing. And sitting behind the desk, in a chair that is damn near throne-like, is Mistress Odessa Corell. Behind the chair, behind her, behind the desk, enormous, glass curtain looking out over sort of the inner courtyard of her little keep. And it is like meticulous gardens, rose bushes and carnations and different types of flowers, just absolutely there as a spectacle for the eye and framing her as she sits in the chair.
And nobody else in here, though.
Nobody else in here.
When Killian walks in, he's going to stop for a second. He's not expecting this. Yeah. Wow.
We even
Walk
put
up
on
to the
notes. Just
desk.
opulent library.
Is there a chair for me on the opposite side of the huge?
There is.
So he's gonna come up. He's gonna look at the chair. He's gonna lean down and he's gonna wrap his and listen. Can I tell what kind of wood it is, Keith?
Mahogany.
Teak.
Oh, that's even better.
Teak. Very nice. And he'll sit down in the chair.
As you sit down, it's a little bit lower than you were expecting as you sit down.
You know, I don't know what I was expecting, but this is not it. Doesn't it you just feel a little bit sacrilegious about making your own little imperial throne room right here? Doesn't there some little part of you that, recognizes the irony here?
The Order, and by extension those of us who lead it, have been invested with a great deal of responsibility.
And money.
It is only right that we enjoy the fruits of exercising those labors.
Now,
You should have vacuumed her room.
see, this makes me wonder. Was this before? Was this like a remodel after the Empress became indisposed? Because I just can't. I never met her, but I can't imagine that she would have looked fondly on this.
Oh, it's absolutely gaudy and not at all to my tastes. I would never have decorated this space or claimed this space for myself. But it's the trappings of the office.
Right. Forced into it. How terrible! I'm sure.
I'm glad you understand.
So unfortunate that you have no choice but to accept these luxuries
Of
as
course
tradition
not.
demands.
Of
I
course
see.
not. There's sort of a little smirk of a smile on her face.
As she twirls her
She
mustache.
absolutely gets. She gets what you're putting out, and she gets it, but she also knows that she can.
Yep. She knows to play the game.
She knows to play. Yeah, she knows to play the game, and she's playing it.
So, if you're gonna send your people to watch me,
You either gotta tell him it's okay that I figure it out, or you gotta send better people. Because the number of people I ran off earlier, look, this is a waste of their time, this is a waste of my time. Just tell me who you're gonna send, so they can be right there with me, along with Hector. Okay? I don't want to keep playing this game of having to interview each person who's standing there to figure out, are they here to watch one of the Watchers? Are they here to watch me? Which one of the three of you do they work for? It's just a waste of all of our time.
It is so very hard to find good help.
Just stop going to Neverwinter.
I mean, see, yes. But also, they're just there to watch me and see what I do. They don't need to be, top-notch inquisitorial agents who can hide in the middle of... Just send them.
You've heard the old axiom, I assume, that when you watch something, you change its behavior. Yes?
Sure.
So, if we made it obvious that we were watching you,
Which you did.
which clearly we are already, we can't trust that you are acting as you normally would.
I think at this point...
I want the unvarnished version of you.
Good luck with that. You have to pay real good money for that. That's in the premium package, not in the package Roskbot.
So we're agreed that there's a price, and now we're just haggling over the amount.
Oh, of course there's a price. Now, whether you can afford it or not, which maybe
and
you can,
she looks around.
which maybe you can, but I mean, in the meantime, so far, I don't think that there's anyone you've managed to send that is going to be able to learn anything. I mean, I haven't even done anything useful in the last 2 days. As soon as I have something useful to do, I'll leave.
You came to see me, didn't you?
On a whim. Because I'm bored. And because I'm a little disappointed in the level of professionalism of your people. I'm gonna be honest.
Tell yourself what you must, darling.
So, just tell me who you're gonna send. Or buy me off.
Out of curiosity, assuming I went with option B, what would you want?
Oh, what would I want? Ooh, you're very good at this.
Ah,
See?
here comes the
You
deal
didn't even
maker.
name me a price. You just said, what do I want? Well,
I'm
I
excited
would
about
say
this.
that I want something from that vast collection of valuable items that I know that you have, except I also happen to know that you no longer have it. So that's off the table. I could say that I'd like a demon or a devil to serve my every whim, which I know you can provide, but I've already sort of seen that that's not really going to be up to snuff either. Oh, the price. That's what I'm going to have to think about, actually. What would I want from you?
Oh, you bastard.
I know. You put me in the room with Master Amakir.
Really?
Huh.
That's what I want.
Huh.
The real question here is, can you even deliver that?
No, the real question is why you want to be in that particular room. Are you a checkers man or a chess man?
It doesn't matter. I
Why
don't know how to
not
play
both?
either.
I fashion myself a backgammon sort of man.
Of course you would.
Oh, darling, that's so delightfully droll. Ah. No commitments yet.
Of course not.
But I have means you might find surprising. If I wanted to, I could put you in that room. The question is if I want to. Do I trust you in that room with him? Why do you want to be there? Is it for yourself? Is it for Rosk? Or can I ensure that it's for me? You just think you have all the cards, darling. We're not even playing the same game.
Clearly, you don't have cards with backgammon.
We'll see. I mean, I feel like I did prove my worth managing to hold off an invasion single-handedly. Or almost.
Ah, words, darling. Anyone can bandy words.
But when people bandy words, can anyone get into a place like this?
I did.
Fair enough.
What are your surface thoughts?
Let's see. What would my surface thoughts be right now? I wonder what I could say to draw more out of her. Is there... He's thinking about, like, what leverage do I know that I have over her? What would she want? And the things that pop up are like, she doesn't need wealth. She doesn't need respect. And then it goes to, but she went through an awful lot of work to set herself up as the lording over everything. And she went through an awful lot of work to learn how to trap devils and demons to command at her every whim. So power is clearly the going rate here.
Oh, so very close. But I'm afraid you're just much too dense to see what's around you.
Interesting. All right, I have to admit, you're better at this game than Roscus. See,
I'm also more careful, darling. Otherwise, I'd be sitting in his chair right now.
that's fair. See, he doesn't use everything at his disposal.
That man is a one-trick pony. The only thing he knows is brute force. In this game, you need a little finesse. You need to study a bit. You need to learn what you can to attain power.
You know, in spite of myself, I think I like you more than Ross.
I will take that as the compliment. I'm sure you intend it.
This has been interesting. Well, and Killian will stand up. I know when I've been bested. Let me know if you want to put me in a room with Amakir. Until then, I'll be around. And I'll
Oh,
head out.
yes, darling. Yes, you will. And she will just let you get up and walk all the way down the hall again.
Yep, all the down the lawn,
And,
yep.
yeah, and you know, about 10 steps in, you start to feel that itch between your shoulder blades. It's like you have left someone behind you that is capable of
Yep.
a whole lot.
Of terrible things.
A whole lot of terrible things, and you're not real sure what's happening right now.
And I'm going to head directly back to the tower.
Okay. You get there. The doors open for you. Not that they wouldn't have anyway, because it's not on lockdown right now. Where are you headed specifically?
I'm going to pause for a minute and see if anybody comes running up to me to be like, somebody wants to talk to you. Okay, I'm heading back up to the bridge.
All right. So you step on the central lift, whoosh, up to the bridge. Shh. Doors open. You step in.
As soon as the download is done.
I'm gonna walk over to him and, inspect him and be like, what the... Try and figure out if he's okay.
And about this time, the download finishes.
Artemis, hello? Hello?
Hi.
He does not speak in common.
What does he speak?
That is the magic language.
The machine language.
Oh, no. I will switch to it, as I also know this language now.
Do I know that language?
You haven't.
That's fair.
You haven't listened for it yet.
What did you do?
I asked to read a manual.
Oh, no, that's the wrong thing to do.
Wrong phrase, wrong phrase.
My head hurts so bad.
Oh, I know. I'm vividly aware. By the way, you're not speaking common.
I think I need a nap. I'm gonna make some tea.
Seabiscuit,
Affirmative.
can you contact the captain?
Affirmative.
Can you inform the
Wait, hold on a second.
Seabiscuit, identify for me who the captain is.
Lucas, secret keeper.
Ah, okay, good. Will you inform the captain that I need him back here immediately, and that he needs to send a message to our friend up the hill to meet us here?
Affirmative. Relaying message. So you actually, what you hear from your from your medallion is the boom shh, boom shh,
That's the default notification noise.
boom shh, boom shh.
You have mail.
Hello?
Message for the captain from chief engineer.
Oh. Go ahead.
What was it?
Oh, right, I got that.
Yeah.
Message delivery.
Message.
Okay. I will contact Cassius. Hey, some stuff has come up. If it is inconvenient for you, please, could you please meet us at the top of the tower on the bridge, please?
If it is inconvenient or convenient.
It is, if it's convenient.
If it's inconvenient,
If it's inconvenient, meet us. Yeah.
Please.
Okay. All right. So you do sense that the message gets through.
Okay.
Is this? Does this require a quiet entry or full force?
Just a quiet entry. I don't think this is a call to arms. So if you could meet us there, that would be brilliant. Thank you.
Understood. On my way.
Where are we in relative?
So about this time, you are approaching the city gates. And as you do, the guards are standing out there, hands up.
Hello.
Halt! Sorry,
Okay.
you cannot bring. Your kind cannot come into the city.
That's slightly racist, but what? You don't let halflings in?
What's that? Sorry, I thought you were one of the traveling elves. So
No. I just
how did you? What?
what?
Where did you get a traveling elf, Vardo, like that?
I bought it.
Did you just twitch?
Why?
It's a mobile home. I don't have to pay city taxes.
I love it so much.
I mean,
How much does it cost for you to live in the city?
You know what?
Look, it's
He's making a lot of good
Man,
points.
couple
You're
of
onto
days.
something.
Jim, I don't like it. The halfling's making a lot of sense.
Let's see some ID. Let's see some ID.
Oh, okay. Give me a second to see what spells I have to avoid
Oh,
this.
I've got mine.
You're drunk. You have identification?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, give me a second.
So which ID are you providing?
The Risla one.
Okay.
I'm just remembering when Rain and Killian first got there, and we're like, so do we go through the gate or over the wall?
I got.
Okay. This man works for you?
Yeah.
She says, clearly drunk.
Been a
He's my Uber.
Your Uber what?
My Ubermensch.
Okay. I've been doing a little celebrating, I see.
Yeah. It was a night. It was a night. It's a weird night.
Make me a deception check at disadvantage.
Oh.
Neither of those is great.
It was
That is pretty.
this one.
It's gonna be an 8. Did you roll lower?
It beats a 6. All my dice are fired until I can get them cleansed because
You could just use the digital roller.
well, I could, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, go on. You know where you're going.
Yes.
Okay, come on. Come on in. You're holding traffic up, and don't run over anybody.
I won't.
Thanks,
The
guys.
horse won't. The horse is.
And they let you pass.
Yeah.
And I'm not that drunk anymore.
And
Just so you're aware with the spell, I'm not controlling the horse. The horse is doing everything.
right. This, however, feels like a good spot as the group of you come back together to call it for the night and pick it up next time.
Huzzah!
So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I think I had a lot of fun. So we'll see how I'll talk to them later and see how they did, how they felt about it, and we will see you guys next week. We should have Jaren back with us. Hopefully, we'll still have Steven with us, assuming that nobody at his house gets sick,
Well,
and we'll keep him well as much as we possibly can. But we will pick up next week, same time, 6 o'clock Mountain Time, so you guys can join us. As a reminder, all of our video content does wind up on YouTube, so you can go out there and check it out. Watch all of the back episodes, watch other campaigns, some that I've done, some that Braden have done, some that Lance have done, and Danny have done. All of that stuff that we've done video-wise is out there. There's hours upon hours of stuff to peruse, lots of different types of games, lots of different types of content. So be sure you check it out. While you're over there, if you haven't already, do hit like and subscribe. Turn on your notifications, and you'll always know when we put new content up. I do try to keep up with it week to week. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I'm trying to get better at it. And the notifications will let you know when that is active. As far as keeping up with our schedule, we do run a Discord server. Be sure you tap into that. It will tell you what the schedule for next week is going to be. We do try to keep to our regular schedule, Monday nights, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. But life happens, and sometimes we have to call an audible and change it. When it does change, we will let you know through Discord. So be sure that you are part of that, and you will always be in the know for when we are here. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure you tune in for us next time. Until then, remember,
Grab your bats and grab your balls.
and if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a glass house.
good night,
Good night, everybody.